Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again. Always with another one out here, you know. It's always another one. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. Be sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you ring that bell. Also, do comment. And whether you're here live with me or on the playback, show me some love. Definitely get down in the comments at all times. Thank you so much. And, you know, I do read you guys' comments. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, look. Yeah, so we in it to win it today. Apparently, Shannon Sharp decided to have Kamala on for a little babble and chattel. You know, we got that going on. We're also going to listen to what Miss Obama had to say. So I guess, you know, Barack sent her out to get on our asses out here. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. You know, I guess he sent her out to, you know, like he said, well, you don't want me to get Kamala out here, you know. Like, okay then. All right, so yeah, it's a lot of things we're going to engage in. We're also going to dive off into the situation, to the migrant situation here a little bit too. It's very vital. We at this exact moment in time, we have a caravan of migrants on their way to the United States before the election hits and things like that. They're panicking. They're scared that Donald Trump is going to win. So yeah, they're on their way. We're going to talk about that. I have a few other things we're going to talk about and stuff like that. Yeah, it's getting crazy out here, man. It is getting crazy out here. We also got the situation about hold on here. My bad, you guys. Oh, excuse me. Whew. That's me. So yeah, we got a few different things here that I'm going to show you guys. But you know, of course, like we always do, we're going to dive off into these beautiful ladies of the world. Hey, let's do it. Here we go. So yes, shout out to all those beautiful ladies out there from Africa to Russia. Yeah, y'all see it out there. Shout out to all my fellas that love those beautiful ladies all over the world. All right, so we about to dive off into Dingbat time like we always do. Let's go here.
Oh!
Yes, please relax yourself out there. So, okay, then we got a situation right here. A young lady come home from work and the house is in shambles. You know what I'm saying? She got her little boy toys sitting around the house all day. So, prime example of these chicks out here that's taking care of these men talking, well, we don't take care of men. These is fucking lies out here, people. They're lies. Let's go here now.
No way that I just got off work. All I did was ask you to clean up and this how the house looks. Like, are you serious?
Damn.
Why do you got shoes all over the floor, chips and woods on the couch?
Look at this idiot right here, looking like a broke ass Nick Cannon.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Looking like a broke ass Nick Cannon. out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, though, some of these chicks be in love with these dudes around here, man. This is crazy. But shit, though, let a dude come in with some structure and discipline out here. She gonna run like the damn road runner.
Grits on the
I
couch.
can't get a break. Can you go on, man?
All you get is a break. All you get is a break.
Alright, what?
All you get is a break. You ain't go to no job interviews. I done filled out your resume, switched your resume for you.
I'm not.
So what did you have me sit there wasting my time for filling out a resume if you wasn't gonna go?
You wanted to do that.
But you said that you was gonna go. That's beside the point right now. Why is it chips on the floor and food on the couch and stuff? You on roaches? And you just sitting here with your feet kicked up like you done just been talking about you can't get a break. Ain't that all you get?
You clean up. You so mad.
I was just at work all day. What am I coming home cleaning up for? You need to clean up. What you been doing all day? Besides eating chips and grits and leaving them right here. You can't even get up and throw your stuff away. The trash still over here. Trash not taken out.
Okay. Wow.
Napkins on the couch. Like, are you for real?
Wow.
This is crazy out here, man. Stop it. Young ladies, y'all gotta stop this shit. Y'all gotta stop it. This is ridiculous. Dude sitting on the couch, he look malnutritioned and shit. Lazy, shoes all over the floor, bum activity. Talking about she had to fill out job applications for him. What type of shit this is right here? See, this is what happens, you know what I'm saying? Young ladies, man, y'all need to stop worrying about getting your backs blowed out here. Because that's all he doing. That's all he doing. That's all he doing. He good in the bedroom, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And, you know, that's all. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Because obviously he ain't good for nothing else. Some bitch can't even, I bet you he ain't even washed his own ass out here. Seriously. I bet you he ain't washed his ass. This is ridiculous out here, man. This is ridiculous. So, okay, we got the next one coming up. We got word from Mia Khalifa. You know what I'm saying? The chick that the porn star chick, you know, the Muslim porn star chick, things like that. So listen, look, man, she putting military vets down, things like that. Shout out to all my military vets out there. Let me give them a round of applause right there as y'all see it. For my grandfather, fought in World War II. You know what I'm saying? Military vets. Shout out to all my military out there. Let's go here now.
Khalifa is back at it again with her horrible takes on U.S. military members. Let's see what she had to say.
Good morning to everybody who is not in the U.S. military. Good morning to everybody who is sitting at home and not on soil that doesn't belong to them, fighting a war for a country that doesn't care about them. I hope you go over there and get your little brain all scrambled up with PTSD and then come back here and see how much the United States cares about you, Pookie. See how much they care about you when you come back with, oh, I'm so sad.
I want to use this as a reminder for all of you out there that the only way to combat poor influences like this is with better influences. And we can only do that together.
Yes, and that's definitely the truth. Shout out to that aspect right there. And see, this is what we're talking about right here. This is the thing right here. When Donald Trump actually sit there and mentions the enemy within, he talk about bats like her. That's wishing all this detriment on our soldiers that go over there and do what they need to do. Now, listen, look, I'm just saying here, you know, regardless of what's going on, they're going to actually do what they need to do to help the country. Now, whether we know the ins and outs of what they're actually doing, this and that, of course, we're never going to know all that solid information like that. And that's neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is that these people are willing to go. She's not willing to go fight for shit. I bet she can't even fight a damn roach off in her fucking house.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
The hell you talking about, Khalifa? How about you do this, baby girl? How about you do this? How about you keep making that corn that you've been making? Excuse me, YouTube. How about you keep making that corn and go ahead on about your business and do what you're supposed to do? And see, this is the people that ought not need to have any type of platform to talk about any damn thing of tangible stability. This is ridiculous. All right, so we're going to keep going right here. I got this next joint for you guys, man. And yeah, this is a serious situation. We have a dude right here that was tending to his own front yard and got shot. This is ridiculous right here. Minding his own business, cutting his own grass. Man, all right, y'all got to see this. This is crazy.
This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate KARE 11 shows David Matori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine.
Matori told NBC affiliate KARE 11 he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion. Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshak. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Shawshak suffers from mental illness. Shawshak has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in this case is high.
That excuse sparking community outrage.
We have to take violent criminals off the street. So I'm not a police officer. I don't know how that gets done, but I know it needs to get done.
Police say Shawshak rarely leaves his home, and the department has not set an arrest date.
We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation, but we will ensure the community will be safe.
Matori says he feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed them most.
If you're saying you're scared, what does that do to me, you know? Like, you have this body armor, you have professional training.
Dana Griffin, NBC.
This is ridiculous right here. I mean, come on, people. Listen, look. Listen, look. This is stupid and it's dangerous. So you mean to tell me that the man, they got the dude, then they let him go. Talk about he's safer in his own home. How is he safer in his own home when he just shot his fucking neighbor out here? What is that? He just shot his neighbor. His neighbor's still laid up in the damn hospital with all that stuff with tubes up his ass pretty much. And you mean to tell me that he's safer back in the neighborhood where he just tried to delete his neighbor? He's safer there than locked up in a cell? Talk about mental issues. And I'm so sick about hearing about damn mental issues. Man, this is, oh my goodness. Hold on.
You old fish-eyed fool.
I'm so tired of hearing about mental issues. Everybody got mental issues all of a sudden. It's ridiculous. And this is totally disrespectful right here. That he got to lay up in the hospital and recover. He can't even be at home to protect his wife from this dingbat next door. Come on, people. Man, this is wild out here. This is wild. All right, so we got the next segment right here, and we're about to dive off into some of the Kamala sections of this situation. And here we go right now. This young lady had to speak to, I can't think of this actor's name, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys out there know who he is, especially if y'all in my age group, early 40s. Y'all remember him from back in the 90s. He was on, I think he was also on How to Be a Player with Bill Bellamy and things like that. He was on a few movies back in the 90s. Here we go. Let's check this out.
Telling me I gotta choose this lady because she's black. She didn't choose black when she was ready to marry and procreate. Why the fuck I gotta choose black?
She went to HBCU. Come on now.
Man, white people go to HBCUs.
Not like
what
that.
do you
Come on,
mean?
man.
Listen,
Come on.
if having a black family is not of importance to you, then I'm not going to believe that you're going to go in the White House and make the black family an importance to you in the White House. If it's not important to you to have a black husband or to have black children, why am I running on you? Black?
And Trump ain't got no blacks around him.
Right.
Exactly. What, he gonna go in the White House and do something for blacks?
Listen.
Because it's Trump?
Listen.
That nigga don't see
I trust him more than I trust her. He know he white.
The fuck?
He know who he is.
Oh, so you want to dance with the devil?
Kamala don't know whether she white, black, or Asian.
She's black. She mentioned it many times.
Well, she ain't.
That woman ain't never said she was black. Where he getting that facts from?
That's the French toast you got to think about.
And these are the things black people are talking about out here. Hey, listen, look, at this point, he don't even look black no more. You know, you gotta watch them red bone ass black people. You know what I'm saying? They quick to trade. You gotta watch them red bone people. Tell you, man, gotta watch some of them. Some of them. Some of them red bone black folks, that we used to, be like, oh yeah, they close to white. This, that, some of them red bone black folks. You got to watch them folks. They quick to turn. He talking about some doggone. She said she black. That woman ain't never said she was black. Come on, man. And she's Indian. And I find it highly disrespectful that she's disrespected her own culture and her own race like that.
Married black and she ain't got no black
because
kids.
you ain't married black, I mean you ain't black.
No, that mean a lot. That tells me about
Sidney
your
Poitier,
preference, and that tells me about your choices.
Sidney Poitier married a white woman.
Listen, Sidney Poitier ain't sitting up here telling me to vote for him because he
Is
black.
he black?
Right. Sidney Poitier, he married a white woman. Okay, then Sidney Poitier, he ain't never ran for no office a day in his life, and then tried to portray himself as black. Vote for me just because I'm black.
He not telling me to vote for him because he's black. I'm not voting for you just because you're black, especially when you are married white.
You better learn. You better learn how to support black folks.
Man, please.
She ain't black. So, you better. Do you hear the shuffling this fool doing? You better learn how to support black food. You better learn how to support black food.
So what the things you gonna think about?
Man, dude, go sit down somewhere. Ain't you got some man? I know this cat older than me, dude. Ain't you got some Geritol to go take? Some high blood pressure pills or something you need to be worried about? Man, you better learn how to support black boots. Black boot.
I do, but you got to support black people back. I want to support. I can't support a black woman with a black husband and some black children.
Oh, you're right. Well, but you're supporting a white man who has no black.
I mean, she married to a white man. I've never been with a white man in my life.
You ain't missing out.
She married to a white man.
I don't know, but
I mean, she sleep with a white man. She answered to a white man. What's the difference between her and me? The only thing is, I'm not sleeping with him.
Oh.
I go to work. I advocate. I get shit done. I don't have to. I ain't never had a pink penis in my mouth.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Just slow it down, baby. She got wild on that one.
How you know she work? Man, you work for the white man, okay? You work for the white man.
I can work for him.
Tap in.
I don't sleep with him though.
Okay. We got to turn this off.
Yeah, now it's time to turn it off. I bet it is time to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? He out there shuffling and shit. It's a damn shame. All right. So we got Jamal Bryant coming up next. Jesus Christ, man. Jamal Bryant just had Kamala Harris in his church recently. She up there, she was up there shuffling too, what I'm saying, right after the rally that she had, talk about some, when the whatever young man that was, I didn't know, well, we didn't see, but when they shouted out Jesus is Lord at her rally, and she turned and was like, oh, you at the wrong rally, you at the wrong rally. Maybe you need to go down to the rally down the street, the small rally. Listen, look, baby. All right, so he pulls her up into the pulpit, and I'm not gonna lie to you, as a preacher's son that grew up in the church, I served in the church, I was an usher in the church as a young man, things like that. I was a part of the Church of God in Christ. I met with plenty of bishops and very upstanding ministers and pastors and things like that growing up, due to my father carried me around with him and stuff like that. And, vet some very honorable men, and they were nothing like what Pastor Brian is right now, or all these other pastors that we know about and stuff like that. They were nothing like that. And I can tell the difference. That's the reason why upstanding men and men of men do not go to church anymore. We don't no longer want to have anything to do with that outside, inside, crazy ass thought process. You know what I'm saying? We want to know what the hell our money's going to. And if the pastors don't want to share those budget facts, then it's time to vacate. So, all right, let's go here now. Let's check out what Pastor Brian has to say about men being misogynist. Oh, it's misogyny.
That something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister.
Yeah. Full stop.
And Mordecai was man enough.
I just want to put out before he go through, you know what I'm saying? Pastor Brian, if you ever listen to this, you need to straighten up that cross right there on the pulpit. It looks like an X, son. That don't look like a cross. That looks like an X. Okay, straighten up your house, son. Straighten up your house. You got X's on the middle of the pulpit right there. That don't look like no straight cross. That don't look like no straight up and down cross. Put the cross straight.
To know that in order for me to be a man, I got to know how to support a woman. Something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister. It was a sister that raised you. It was a sister that taught you how to read. It was a sister that taught you how to bathe yourself.
In the context of the vice president,
yeah, now he up there huffing and puffing like the most. Yeah, he up there with all that crap. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, growing up back in the day, women having babies out of wedlock couldn't be in the damn church. Oh no, you had to stay outside unless you came in and truly repented for your sins, and then you calmed your tail down. Women back in the day couldn't wear all them skimpy ass clothes that they wear to church now. That was not allowed. The elder women, you know what I'm saying? She catch one chick that came in and was probably trying to change her life around, but that's all she had, something like that, with something short, a skimpy to a degree, but she was there trying to change her life around. The elder women in the church will help her out. They'll bring a towel, put over her legs. They'll bring a coat, put over her chest to cover her breast. You know what I'm saying? This is what used to happen back in the day growing up in the real church. Nowadays, these chicks out here with their Saturday night outfits on and shit, going to the church first thing Sunday morning with the same cocktail filled dress and stains and all that type of shit and smoke from the club from the night before.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You ain't finna tell me nothing. I know what's going on. Playing around out here with this boy. This man sitting around here telling that he ain't even speaking nothing about nothing that actually matters about the Bible. I already know. I ain't seen a sermon a day in my life from this cat, but I can tell how he move and what he stand for.
you're trying to send a message?
We've got to be able to vote that misogyny is still real in our community. We've got to address it head on and not act like it doesn't exist.
So at the end of the day, when God said in the Bible that it's God, man, woman, and child. So at the end of the day, what you saying is, though, the whole Bible that you preaching out of is full of shit.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
If that's what you want to do now, because you talking about men being misogynist and all. So if the male is the head of the household, then how you gonna actually promote the woman to be the head of the man when the Bible tell you that the man is the head? So let's not go here now. What is he talking about? That's how I know he ain't knowing what he talking about. Well, he know what he talking about. That's why he talking out the side of his neck. All this talking out the side of your neck, Brian. What is wrong with you? So you telling me the same Bible that you preaching out of is misogynist? Okay.
The reality is, if black men had voted, Stacey Abrams would be a governor. And so I think that we've got to do some real redress that after racism, the biggest ill in America is sexism. And I think it's part of the responsibility of this generation to deal with it head on.
No, it's part of the responsibility, Brian, to preach the actual word out of the Bible, not take certain things and change it around and flip it around and all this other type of crap to make it your own spin on what the fuck you think you need it to be.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Nope. I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, though, on that. All right, so we got the next joint right here. We got a young lady that's being locked up for saying a prayer in front of a Planned Parenthood facility. This is crazy. Let's keep going.
We had BLM people out here burning down cities and didn't even get 3 years.
Right.
This woman, all she did was pray in front of a abortion clinic, and she's getting 3 years. It's ridiculous.
Away from her family.
Oh, this just goes to show y'all how much y'all vote is so important. Y'all have to vote. Y'all cannot let Kamala get in. That's Kamala's administration. That woman who sentenced me, that's Kamala's administration. This is what Kamala has been doing the whole time. Before she ever became, which as soon as she touched foot as an AG in San Fran, she was putting people under the jail. She gets a joy out of that. She don't care about you being separate from your family. She don't care about none of that. This is the epitome of Jezebel. This is a feminist movement. And now you're watching the vibe between women and men because you're starting to see, like, these women, they don't care about America first. These women, they get this power and they operate from emotion, and they don't care about America. They don't care about nothing. They don't care about a person's life. They'll accuse a guy of rape in a second for a check. They'll tarnish their name, tarnish their character. We've allowed these women in power to become out of control. And any woman who is a leader that is not power pressed will understand exactly what I'm saying.
Ooh, was she smoking? Hold on. So this young lady right here is getting 3 years for saying a prayer in front of an abortion clinic. How do you get locked up for freedom of speech like that? What is that? What is going on here? And I'm not down for freedom of speech being taken away. I don't care what side of the freedom of speech level that you're on. This is okay then. This is where you trying to go. Y'all keep voting the wrong way, and we're gonna end up in some type of situation where the little man with the small mustache.
Yo, thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
Yep. All right. But yo, though, that was Dean Bad Time. Dean Bad Time signing out.
Oh!
So yes, shout out to Dingbat Time. You know what I'm saying? Mad love to all you guys. You know what I'm saying? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking so far. Also, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Ring that bell. Yeah. That you follow me whenever I'm posting and stuff, man. Seriously. All right. So we're about to go here next. Let's check out a little bit of this right here. We got a situation here now with this young lady right here about the concert that just recently happened with Beyonce there and stuff like that. And she's saying that people were walking the hell out of that joint. Let's go here now.
Y'all, they held a rally for Kamala Harris last night with Beyonce as the headliner. And let me tell you, the drama started when Beyonce left the stage. So Kamala's rally was all set to be the event, and they put out Beyonce to pack the crowds. Oh, people were hyped, but not for Kamala. The second Queen Bee dropped that mic, people were practically sprinting for the exits. Like the fastest cardio they've done in months. By the time Kamala got to the mic, half the seats were empty. And here's the kicker. Half the crowd started chanting, "Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump." Now that's a plot twist she didn't see coming. But Kamala, in true winging it fashion, hit him with her classic line. "If you don't like it, go to the smaller rally down the street." Ma'am, that's not the flex you think it is. Can we talk about the irony here? The only thing she managed to cover was abortion, while everyone else was covering the exits. So maybe next time, let's wait to bring Beyonce out till after you speak, because the rally wasn't giving hope and change.
Hey, that would have been smart, though. Let's just keep this real. That would have been smart if she would have waited to bring Beyonce out, after she went up there and did her babble and all the type of stuff that she was, call herself, doing and stuff. It's crazy, but it's the truth. It's crazy, but it's the truth. Let's keep going.
It was giving hope to catch Beyonce's Uber outside. Now, let's be real. If Beyonce was in town at a Kamala rally, which was free, I'd probably show up too just to see it. I mean, how much longer are we actually going to be able to see Beyonce if Kamala doesn't make it into the White House, which is what it looks like because, Diddy, maybe?
Damn. Hey, it's a lot going on. It is a lot going on. And also, too, you know what I'm saying? Listen, look now, y'all. Y'all remember that Beyonce supported Hillary Clinton, too. We see how that turned out. I'm just saying.
And don't get me started on Beyonce's mom and Kelly Rowland. Because her heartfelt speech, she couldn't even see the teleprompter. And Kelly was dressed like a man, but that is part of the liberal agenda, right? She can be whoever she wants to be on any given day. What are your thoughts on this?
And my thoughts on this is that, yes, you know, Kelly came out there dressed how she was dressed, which is sad, though, you know, and then both of these women are supporting, you know, this awful situation. Talk about reproductive rights, and nobody's women have total rights of their damn bodies. I don't get it. And you mean to tell me these two women who are mothers of multiple children are out there? Yeah, let's delete these. Yeah. Then we're starting to wonder why men are not seeing any value in marrying women anymore out here. This is crazy.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is crazy. This is so crazy. All right. So we're about to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? We're about to go here and check this out right here. And this is going to harp it into the situation here that I already previously stated about you know, when Kamala got when Kamala decided to talk that crap at the rally. Here we go.
With the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
If y'all notice though, and I'm finna go back. If y'all notice though, they hold on. They bleeped out when whoever that was said Jesus is Lord. Hold on.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
You see, they bleeped it out. Yeah, okay.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Yeah, I bet they did. Yep. I bet they did. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, you know, that's what's going down around here. That is what's going down around here. So we're going to keep this train moving on this broadcast. Shout out to all my subscribers. Yeah, tuning into this broadcast real quick. All right. Hold on here. Let me get my stuff together. Let's see. Okay. All right. So we are going to go here now. Let's check this out. We're moving on to the situation about the migrants, okay? And the thing of this is yeah, it's thousands of migrants headed for the border, like I told you guys in the beginning of the broadcast and things like that. Let's dive off into this. This is very serious. They've been keeping up with the election somehow, some way, TV, radio. Of course, they have phones, you know, and they've been keeping up. So now these illegals are panicking. They're wanting to rush over here immediately to get over here to get the benefits and things like that, that our government and us as taxpayers are allowing our government to actually, you know, dish out these benefits to these people like it's fucking candy, you know, in a damn candy store. Let's keep going.
Happening right now, cities along the southern border are bracing for a massive migrant caravan making its way through Mexico. 2,000 migrants who crossed into southern Mexico on Sunday.
And this was 6 days ago.
Say time is of the essence, saying they're afraid of asylum changes under a new president come January, worried that this is their last chance to get into the country. News Nation's Jorge Ventura has the latest from San Antonio this morning. Jorge, I'm curious how these cities are now preparing for another new migrant surge.
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, so this caravan is around 2,000 migrants. It's on its way north right now to the U.S.-Mexico border. And officials across Texas say they are in active alert, including officials in El Paso. Now, officials in El Paso are adding that they are tracking that caravan's movement and are in active conversation with Mexican authorities. Many migrants are now viewing this as kind of their last chance to make it into the United States and seek asylum. With that upcoming election, migrants are expected that with a Trump administration, with that possibly of winning in November, that the Trump administration could introduce more of those hardline immigration policies and cracking down on asylum, but also ending that CBP-1 Act, which Mexican officials say now migrants are growing very impatient with, and say that we could possibly see even more of these smaller groups come here to the U.S. Now, right now, Marky, it's unclear if that migrant group would.
I mean, look at that. Just look at this. Look at look how far the line goes back. Y'all see the two semi trucks right there, and the line stretches all the way back. Jesus, man, this is wild. I mean, seriously, look at this. All these people that are trying to rush the border illegally
would head to El Paso or another entry point here in Texas, like McAllen. But officials say they are expecting that group to start making that way closer once they kind of reach Mexico City. We'll kind of see what direction they head to. But El Paso saying they are in active communication with Mexican officials at the moment, tracking that group headed to the U.S.-Mexico border, Marky.
Yeah, and this group calling themselves God Guides Us. Yeah, we'll be interested to see, what they look like, where all they're coming from. What's been the reaction from leaders here at home?
My thing of it is, if God is guiding you, how about you go home and fix your own damn country? How about you do that?
To think about?
I mean, yeah, like, why won't y'all fix your own country? We got enough problems over here as it is, without y'all, just rushing our country like that. Go home and fix your own shit.
Home, Jorge.
So News Nation's border team, we did obtain an exclusive statement from GOP Homeland Security Committee on this caravan saying, quote, this is from Chairman Mark Green saying, quote, it's quite simple, would-be border crossers know that their best chance to be released into American communities is under the open border policies of President Biden and his border czar, Vice President Kamala Harris. He added that in his view, the crisis won't end until there's a change in policy and immigration laws are fully enforced. President Biden and Vice President Harris continue to defend the record on border security. President Trump saying if he wins, he'll carry out the largest deportation operation in American history using the National Guard and local police. Now, while Vice President Harris stresses the need to keep limits on asylum and close those loopholes, some have earned that pathway to citizenship. And Mark, I've been in contact with my Mexican sources who say they do expect for this caravan to actually be broken up around Mexico City. They expect for Mexican authorities to crack down on that group. So we probably won't see that big caravan all arriving all at once, but we'll probably see those smaller groups start to make it to the way to the U.S. border after that.
So hold on here. My question is, if they're expecting the Mexican border to break up the groups and things like that, okay, why haven't they done this already? These past 3 years and a half plus, something like that. Why haven't they did it already? Why didn't they crack down in the first place? Why is all of a sudden it's such a crackdown now? Why is it that you didn't handle business beforehand? Because we've already had millions of illegals come in over the past 3 years. So, what's the crackdown for now? Now, okay, cool. Please do so if you're going to do it. All I'm saying is, though, why was y'all playing games before?
To that crackdown.
Yeah, and splinter off. I'll be talking to the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council on the show here in just a little bit. Have a lot of questions coming his way, too. Jorge Ventura, thanks so much. And thanks for watching.
All right. And that's that on that one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that situation. And this is the thing right here. We cannot allow these individuals to keep coming in here all willy-nilly and stuff like that. It's going to affect our economy, of course, which it already has started to do so, things like that, because we are allocating funds to people that are not actual citizens. They can't even pay the taxes back from the money that we're giving them. You know, and if they do get little side hustles and stuff like that, they're not paying taxes. So they're not giving any money back to do anything with. They're doing nothing but taking and shit out here. They're just taking. All right. So we're going to keep this thing going. And apparently this has come out now about the situation up in Colorado. Apparently the powers that be knew that this was going to happen before it happened. As far as the Aurora situation where they were taking over these people's homes and stuff like that at gunpoint, they knew that this was going to happen before it happened. Let's dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
An Aurora, Colorado councilwoman sounding the alarm with newly leaked emails suggesting people within the Aurora Police Department knew about the migrant gang threat for months. The councilwoman says an internal email went out last November saying, quote, TDA, or Tren de Aragua, has decided to make Denver their headquarters due to sanctuary policies and location. But nearly 1 year later, residents are being forced to leave their homes because of the violence still happening in their town. Former head of ICE's Denver region and Colorado congressional candidate for that district, John Fabricatori, joins us now. John, it's so great to have you on the show. This is infuriating, and I can't imagine if I was one of the residents who was being told that no, TDA is not in Denver, is not in Aurora, is not in Colorado, and finding out that there were emails and the cops knew. Your reaction?
Yeah, good morning, Rachel. It's an absolute mess. You know, Danielle Jurinsky, the councilwoman here, she's been raising the alarm on this for about 2 or 3 months. Those of us like myself who have also been talking about this have been saying that Tren de Aragua was here, and leaders inside the community, the mayor, the city manager, the Aurora City Police Department leadership has denied it. And now these emails come out, and we're beginning to see exactly what they knew, at least for a year.
So now the emails come out. They knew for a year that these people were about to lose their homes at gunpoint.
You old fish-eyed fool.
And that, man, come on, people. Come on. And you got the mayor out there. Oh, no, you're not seeing what you're seeing. We don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing illegal happening here. We don't have a gang out here. We don't have none of this stuff. What are you talking about out here? This is crazy. Come on, man. This is sad and truly disrespectful. I hope they get whoever that mayor is that with the next election. I hope they get him the fuck up out of there because he's trash. He's a trash human being. His spirit is trash. His whole mindset is trash. He's not loyal to his constituents. He's not loyal to anybody. I hope they get him the hell up out of there their next election in Aurora. Seriously.
Yeah, they're not the only ones who knew. The federal government knew, DHS knew. I've been talking all the time about Congressman Troy Nehls, who wrote
the federal government and DHS? Jesus, man.
Wrote a letter to Alejandro Mayorkas from Homeland Security, you know, over 2.5 years ago, saying, hey, you guys know that these prisons are being, these prisons are releasing prisoners who are in TDA, and you're telling the Border Patrol, hey, look out for these guys, but you're not telling citizens that you know this is happening while the border is open.
So I guess Trump was crazy when he was talking about they was releasing that Venezuela was releasing their prisoners out of their prisons and psycho wards and sending them up here. So I guess he was crazy when he stated that fact. Because obviously now it's a fucking fact. Emails have come out. We've also seen what happened, things like that. So now it's a fact that Trump was right. They were releasing their psychopaths and their prisoners out of Venezuelan prisons and shipping them up here.
So there's a lot of culpability to go around. So what was your reaction, for example, when you heard Martha Raddatz, when she was interviewing J.D. Vance saying, well, it's only a few apartment buildings?
You know, it was ridiculous to me because it should be 0 apartment buildings.
We should have no Venezuelan gang members in the United States right now. And like you were mentioning, the vetting is horrible. We don't share criminal information with Venezuela. The Border Patrol is simply doing an NCIC check. They're not coming up with any criminal history on these guys, and they're simply letting them into the U.S. And now we see exactly what's happening here in Aurora, Colorado, where these guys are extorting people. They're kidnapping. They just cut the fingers off of a man here in Aurora in an extortion attempt. So, we have to put our foot down on this because this gang needs to be stopped now before they get even stronger.
Yeah. And they're also...
Damn, they up there cutting fingers off people. Come on, man.
Setting up all kinds of sex trafficking, including child sex trafficking, and they're the ringleaders on that as well. It's really great to have you on, John. Thanks for...
And guess who they snatching up? Guess whose children they snatching up?
Joining us. Thanks for sounding the alarm on it. And hopefully someone like you will get a leadership position to put an end to it. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good morning.
You got it. We also got a statement from the police, and they said, we must remember that police departments and the justice system as a whole must rely on admissible evidence, not hearsay, rumors, and fragments of information, contrary to claims made on social media and by select news organizations. The city, including APD, the Aurora Police Department, has remained consistent in responses on this matter.
I'm Steve. Obviously, those are lies.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Talking about, man, this is crap. The Aurora police, things like that. The whole government has failed that whole little town. It's failed that whole little town. This is sad. All right, so we about to dive off into the next one with the migrant situation right here. So, got records out here, we got a few of these bats out here locked up, and let's just go here now.
Welcome back. We have a Fox News exclusive investigation that's revealing shocking new details into criminal migrant activity in Texas. Brooke Taylor, she's there in Dallas with these troubling statistics. Brooke, what do you have?
Dana, I filed an open records request because I wanted to know how many inmates with ICE detainers accused of the most violent of crimes are being housed in our jails here in Texas. This is what we found in Harris County in Houston, where the VP was just campaigning. There's more than 9,000 inmates in the Harris County jail. Roughly 1,000 inmates have ICE holds. That is one in every inmate. Here are the mugshots of some of the most violent suspects with ICE detainers. Through our open records request, as of September, we identified ICE detainers lodged for 75 murder cases, of which 22 are capital murder cases. That includes the 2 illegal migrants from Venezuela charged with murdering 12-year-old Jocelyn Nongaray, whose mother has been vocal about blaming the Biden-Harris open border policy. 32-year-old Osman.
Yes, she has spoken out on the news about that situation, sad situation. Shout out to that family. And thank God they got these bats locked up.
Sanchez is another suspect among these cases. ICE officials tell me he's an illegal migrant from Honduras. Sanchez is accused of killing 27-year-old Ricardo Vega during a road rage incident back in April. We spoke to his mother.
He has a 9-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son who now have to grow up without a dad. And my daughter-in-law has to be without her husband. How many other victims is it going to take before somebody actually does something about it?
My other question is when are we going to restore American male citizens their rights to defend themselves? When are we going to bring that back? When are we going to bring that back? When are we going to bring back strong American men that can defeat bats like that? When are we going to bring this back? Because those men that are coming over here across the border and stuff, they're ratchet people. They're demons. They're ignorant. These people don't want to have decent lives, and they don't care about your decent life. They don't care that you're trying to be a normal citizen, a decent human being. They don't care. They're coming across the border. They don't care. Those men, those military-age men, we saw this. Hold on. We saw this. Where they at? Hold on. Where they at? Let's get the pictures. We see them. We see them. Look at them. Look. You think he cares that you're just a decent man trying to live life and provide for a family? He don't have no family. He don't have no care in the world. He don't even care about himself. None of these men do. Look at them. All trash. All trash. Trash ass individuals. When are we going to restore a man's rights over here in America to defend himself by any means necessary from bats like this? Criminals don't care. Criminals do not care about obeying laws and stuff like that. It's only law-abiding citizens that care.
And she tells me she's going to continue to fight for justice as her son's case makes its way through the court system. I do want to mention quickly something that stood out to us from this open records request is 174 of these ICE detainers are tied to sexual assault cases, and more than half of those cases involve children under 14 years old. Dana.
Wow, Brooke. Okay, stay on top of it for us. Thank you.
This is ridiculous out here. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at, people. This is where we're at. With all this craziness that's going on here. And we're sitting around here like, can't properly defend ourselves from these bats that are coming over here doing these egregious crimes. And they know where to go to. They know what states to go to. They go to these places where they know that, half the people out there can't properly, half the decent citizens out there can't properly carry firearms. And then you got some of these American men out here. I don't know what's wrong with them either. Like, well, no, I don't want guns around me. You a grown ass man. You don't want a gun?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
What is wrong with you? Guns are dangerous. How guns are dangerous? Guns can't get used until people pick them up. It's the stupidity that's killing us out here. It's the stupidity. And these are facts. It's the damn stupidity. And it's ridiculous. All right. So we got a little ways to go here. Shout out to everybody out there. Yeah, man. Listen, look. Before we get to start diving too deep, I'm going to take me a little hot break. You guys hold it down. I'll be right back.
Tell me, JR, which slut are you going to stay with tonight?
What difference does it make? Whoever it is, it's got to be more interesting than the slut I'm looking at right now.
That's Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, you know what I'm saying?
So what do you want?
We're going to get your name and your Instagram. We're going to get you on the Cowboy as soon as possible,
You're going to get us on the Cowboy?
Yeah.
This was dates. Is it?
Yeah. And I'm the cowboy.
Are you a cowboy?
Of course. Howdy.
Okay, you are handsome.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all are very pretty yourselves too, you know what I'm saying? All the people that do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What name would it be?
Sleep season.
Sleep season?
Sleep season, yeah, that's sleep season.
So y'all
Sit you
trying
down
to
real
rope us,
nice.
rope us like them cows, some baby cows and calves.
Oh, you into that bondage, huh?
You kind of strong.
Yo, yes.
So
What's
what
good?
the is there to think about?
What's good?
Shots fired!
Yes, shots are being fired out here. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shots being fired, definitely against us as American citizens. And yeah, it's getting even more crazy. But it is what it is, though. So yeah, we're gonna keep this broadcast going. And yeah. You know what? I'm going to go here now, and we're going to see what Trump had to say. You know, Trump promises to bring back the American dream. And I could definitely agree with that, you know, to be honest with you. That sounds like a good ass idea to me. All right, so we're going to go here now. Let's check this out.
Look, we have 9 days from now, and we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win back the beautiful White House, and we're going to make America great again, and it's going to happen fast. Thank you. In less than 4 years, Kamala Harris has shattered our middle class. She cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation in the history of our country. She cost the typical American family over $3,000 in a short period, but over $30,000 over the last 3 years. She killed 50,000 manufacturing jobs this year alone. Now Kamala wants to raise the typical family taxes by nearly $3,000 a year and impose a 33% tax hike on all domestic production. If Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, our economy can never recover. If I win, we will quickly build the greatest economy in the history of the world. Which is what we had in our last term. We will rapidly defeat inflation, and we will very simply make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable.
And that definitely sounds like a good ass idea to me, you know, and things like that. And because, you know, a few things that I do like, especially the cutting out the taxes on overtime and stuff like that. You know, I get a lot of overtime and stuff like that. That would be tremendously great. Tremendously great. Also closing these borders down and making sure that we get these jobs back over here. Making sure that we incentivize these corporations to bring jobs back. And I hear a lot of rhetoric, you know, side talking and stuff like that. Well, you know, the tariffs are gonna, you know, how is that gonna bring jobs back and stuff like that? These people overseas need America to buy their products. They need us. Like I've said before, also in other broadcasts that I've done, America is the workhorse of the world, okay? We are the workhorse of the world. And as the workhorse of the world, they need us to buy their products and such things. So if they don't want to actually, they want to be cast out, who else they're going to sell them to? Who else they're going to sell their products to? To where they can get the capital and the type of money that American citizens provide these other countries when they send their services and goods over here. Who else they're going to buy? Who else is going to buy from them? What, are they going to send them to the Philippines? South America, some damn where? Them people trying to run up here to America now. South America is going to buy Chinese products? No. Who does India? Africa? Africa probably buy a few things, but they're not going to buy as much and at the high prices that we do over here in America. So what's they going to send to? London? Spain? Greece? I'm just saying here, it's crazy out here to me. Who else are these corporations overseas going to send their products to? And the only way I get it, the only way that at the end of the day, though, we want the jobs back over here. We want the jobs back over here. So if you don't want to pay those high tariffs, put your factories over here where we can have the jobs instead of just being the fucking workhorses of the damn world.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
Thank God for that. Yes, I take care of my 100-year-old grandmother, and she don't need to be taxed at all. After a certain age, especially you get up there in that age, I don't think you need to be taxed at all. You done been taxed enough. That's enough. Greedy ass people.
And I'm announcing a new policy today that I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or a loved one. It's about time that they were recognized, right?
Yeah.
They add so much to our country and are never spoken of, ever, 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 but they're going to be spoken of now. Thank you all very much. I'll also make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, but only for cars made in America. Have to be made in America. And we will achieve energy independence, and we will do something. We want it so badly. We're going to do something. You know what we're going to do? Front row Joes. I got front row Joes here. I got the ladies from North Carolina, number 249. This is the 200, and you look so beautiful. We have a lot of people. They followed us, but we're going to do something. The ladies can tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drill a baby drill. And I will terminate the Green New Scam, and we'll cut your energy prices in half, 50%, within 1 year from January 20th. Is the fake news hearing that? Whoa! Look how much. Wow, that's a lot of fake news.
Hey, that's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news right there. Shout out to all that fake news out there.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
That is a lot of fake news. Look at that. Wow. That's got to be a record, Mr. Speaker. I think that's a record. That is a lot of fakers back there. To bring back millions of jobs, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. Remember this, if we keep going like this, we won't have the biggest and the best.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Yeah, shout out to that. Yeah, and it's the truth. It's just the truth. We can't keep going the way that we're going with these policies that we're under right now and expect for natural born American citizens to prevail in any way, shape, form, any way, shape, or form. Allowing all these illegals in, crazy stuff going on. We're spending our tax money like it's water running out of a faucet that can't be cut off. It's just wild out here. It is wild out here. This is wild. It's crazy. So, all right, we about to keep it going out here. And yeah, man, it is open season in this situation right here. So we're about to go here next. And let's see. Let's check and see what old Michelle Obama was talking about. You know, like I said, real talk. I guess, you know, old Barack had to get his wife out here, you know, to get everybody in line and shit. You know, listen, look. It is what it is. Let's go here now.
Want to be on. Now, I recognize that there are a lot of angry, disillusioned people out there, upset with the slow pace of change. And I get it. It is reasonable to be frustrated. We all know we have a lot more work to do in this country. But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get—
So it's a problem that people are fed up with the bullshit that y'all got going on. And then you're going to come out here talking out of the side of your damn lips and shit. Talking about, you know, you should do this even if you're fed up. Oh no, oh no, oh no. See, that's the point about people. We still have the right to vote for who we want to vote for. And if we're fed up with your crap out here, you know, listen, look, you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Because I can smell the ammonia.
Get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage.
Oh, so you just want to talk to the men now. Okay, this is how this is going to go. Oh, you just want to talk to the men. So us as men haven't received anything in society that actually helps us be productive men, you know what I'm saying, provide for families and things like that. But I keep forgetting that you guys don't want families anymore. No, you don't want families anymore. You want this strong, independent narrative. And at the end of the day, a lot of these women out here are hitting the fucking wall out here because of that.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
They're hitting the wall. And I'm not talking about looks and all that other type of crap that goes around about women hit the wall. No, they're hitting the wall of their mental state. They're hitting the wall of understanding that after a certain point, they finally realized through some mystical, magical power that family actually meant something. And these people are just trying to strip the family dynamics. Oh, your daughter's going to be affected. She's going to be affected. Nobody's going to be affected by this this fake narrative that you're trying to present. You have your family. Why can't we have ours?
So are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety?
An assault on women's safety. What about assault on these young boys out here that don't have the proper mentorship, don't have the proper home structures? They can't find decent wives because they're always out at the club shaking it fast. And see, this is the point right here that I'm talking about out here. Y'all always want to, they always coming out here talking about what the women need, the girls want, things like that. And I'm not trying to deny the what women need and want. But soon as men start talking about what we need and want and what we need to have in order to have a proper structure in society, now it's a fucking issue. Now we got problems. Or now we're not supportive enough to the women. I haven't heard not one time about her supporting not a young boy, not not a young man, none of that shit. But y'all want our fucking semen. You still want our children, even if you are trying to delete them. You still want them, but you also going to want to delete them. Like,
And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us.
and we have every right to demand that the women in our lives do better by us too. It's an equal playing ground if y'all want to play this shit equal.
We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
Oh. So we can't have anything. We can't even be disappointed. We as men can't have anything. We can't be disappointed. Okay then. Well, if we can't have anything, well, why not just make it illegal for men to even eat food? How about that? Go ahead. Fine then. We can't have anything. Oh no. Hold on. Oh, men can't have anything. Yeah. Let's make it illegal for men to even brush their teeth. Oh man, you men are just trash. You don't even deserve to even use the bathroom. You men are trash. Y'all don't deserve to eat food. You men are trash. Y'all don't even deserve to even breathe. Why do you men have so much of an opinion? What is wrong with you men out there? Why do you have an opinion on every damn thing? We don't want to even hear you. We must demand that the men in our family value it. I ain't heard not one time this woman say, you need to actually take care of your men too. Are we not human beings as well? Is that a problem that God made me a human being too? Do you have a righteous problem with me being born as a man? I think real talk, Michelle Obama got a problem with the fact that some of the human beings are born men.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I think she got a huge problem with that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Michelle. Wow. I didn't know that you were so hateful towards men just because they were born men. Wow. Oh my goodness.
And we are more than just baby-making vessels. And if you are a woman who lives in a household of men that don't listen to you or value your opinion, just remember that your vote is a private matter. Regardless of the political views of your partner, you get to choose. You get to use your judgment and cast your vote for yourself and the women in your life. Remember, women, standing up for what is best for us can make the difference in this election.
Yeah. Standing up was best for women. Okay. Okay, then. Since you want to exile men, this is the point right here. Y'all have to remember this now. Remember this. Michelle Obama has exiled men. She's done it. She said it right now. Standing up for what's only best for women. Not what's best for the American people, not what's best for the American citizens, not what's best for American women, men, and children. She said only what's best for women. She's exiled the men and the children at this point. Okay.
So let us use our voices in these final days to make it plain to the men in our lives that we need to stand not with Trump, but with us. We need them to vote for the only candidate in this race who will protect our lives. We need them to vote for Kamala Harris.
So is she going to protect men's lives too? Is she going to protect children's lives too? I'm not hearing nothing coming out of this bat's mouth that actually means anything about the whole American citizens. Men, women, and children. I need it all to make sense. Not just for women, not just for men, not just for children. I need it all to make sense. And this bat, Michelle Obama, is talking clearly out of the side of her neck. And she cares nothing about the citizens of this country. She only cares about what agendas that they're trying to present. She only cares about whatever they're trying to do. She don't care about men nor children. She don't care.
Kamala, she will fight to restore our reproductive freedoms and defend our health. Kamala will fight for our access to life-saving emergency care and maternal care in every state. Kamala will veto any abortion ban or bill that restricts access to contraception or IVF. Kamala.
Ain't none of that being restricted. You can still get IVF. You can still do all that. But it's in the state's hands. So yeah, if you happen to live in a state that don't want that, oh well, that's the move. It's not that hard. And if you can't, accept the facts. Smart people don't want the government in their business like that.
We'll expand access to birth control and abortion pills.
How they go expand the act? They already have act. You could get a damn Plan B at CVS or Walgreens right now.
So what's the French toast is there to think about?
What the hell is she talking about? See, this is how I know that, you know, listen, look, this bat right here, she man, shoe fly, don't bother me. This bat needs to get on.
And she will do all of this not because she's a woman, but because she's a decent.
Yeah, it is because she's a woman.
Human being.
Decent human being locking up black men and black women, real talk, out there in San Francisco for truancy violations. One lady couldn't send her child to school because her child had sickle cell, I believe it was, and the child was going through so much pain and stuff, she had to miss school a lot. Kamala Harris locked that woman up because her child was sick with sickle cell. Look it up. It's out there. This is crazy.
She will do this because she cares about the lives of people other than herself. And that's really what this election is about, Michigan. This isn't just about what we have an obligation to say no to. It's about what we have the opportunity to say yes to. And we can elect someone who has the experience, the character, and the strength to look at all these challenges and still see a brighter day on the other side. Kamala Harris will see us, all of us. Kamala Harris will listen to us, all of us. She will protect our freedom. She'll stand up for all of our lives. She will have our backs for the folks trying to get ahead and those just trying to get by. And in doing so, she will usher in a new generation of American leadership and send the ugliness of Donald Trump and his politics back where it belongs, the past.
she showed doing a lot of sniffling up there, like talking about seriously. Hey, you doing a lot of sniffling up there now. You know, my days of running the streets prove the facts that when I was running the streets and actually out there with people that actually skied. Now, if you well, a lot of y'all not gonna know the terminology of skiing, but if you know what skiing means, you have to be on snow to ski. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that there out there. Looks like she's draining.
But Michigan, she cannot do any of this alone. So I'm asking you one last time, let us not just sit around and complain. Let's do something. If your brother or your son or boyfriend needs to hear your perspective, are you willing to talk to them? Are you willing to send a video of what I've just said? Are you willing to do something? If you have an aunt who's thinking about sitting this one out or voting for a third party, are you willing to have an uncomfortable conversation? Are you willing to do something? If you have an extra hour or extra weekend, are you willing to knock on doors and talk to your neighbors? Are you willing to do something? Look, Michigan, we've just got.
So I guess that's the new slogan, do something. Yeah, I guess.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I guess.
You old fish-eyed fool.
It's crazy out here. It's crazy. All right, so we about to dive off into the next one. And yeah, we're slowly but surely getting there, people. It is what it is. We're one more away from the Kamala Harris interview on Shannon Sharp out
thank
here.
me in the morning.
Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong one. Yeah, we're just a little bit away, okay? So, all right, I got this last one right here before we get to the main event. Real talk. And yeah, we're about to go here now. We're about to check this out real quick. Let's see. Of course, you know what's happening here in this next one I'm about to show you guys. Kamala Harris is she's failing to get a lot of endorsements. The Teamsters backed out, as we all heard a while back. The Teamsters is a major union, things like that, has huge power and control for a union that's been around a long time. Jimmy Hoffa, Mafia Day, stuff like that. The Teamsters was huge. They backed out a while back. Also, the publications now are backing out. So those are the major newspapers, stuff like that. So yeah, it's getting crazy out here, man. It's getting crazy out here. She's not getting the proper endorsements that Democrats have been getting for decades now. Let's go here now. Let's check this out.
Big drama over a big decision by the Washington Post. Thousands of people canceled their subscriptions after the Washington Post announced it will not endorse a presidential candidate this year. The paper endorsed Democrats in every cycle since Jimmy Carter, but skipped backing Michael Dukakis in 1988. Last week, the Los Angeles Times made big news, also skipping an endorsement. CNN's Brian Stelter with his take.
The overarching story here is about a concern that billionaires like Bezos might be rolling over and appeasing Donald Trump, whether even before the election day actually rolls around. This is known by some scholars as anticipatory obedience. The idea.
Hey, regardless of what, this is a huge deal. You're talking about Bezos. He already got Elon Musk. And these are our robber barons of the 21st century. And, you know, anybody, especially to all my older gentlemen out there, y'all remember the name robber barons. These were the JP Morgans, the Rothschilds, the Jesus Christ, you know, the Rockefellers, stuff like that. Those individuals were the robber barons of the late 1800s and, well, 19th century, early 20th century. And these are our individuals now who are the billionaires, soon to be trillionaires. Let it be known that Elon Musk's bank count just went up. He's at $250 billion right now. So, hey, shout out to Elon.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Hey, shit, $250 billion. All right. So here we go now. Let's keep going.
Idea that some people obey in advance to curry favor with aspiring authoritarians.
Joe Concha argues in his new op-ed, Kamala Harris' failure to secure key endorsements suggests her campaign is in a free fall. The New York Times opinion section blaring on its front page, Donald Trump says he will prosecute his enemies, order mass deportations, use soldiers against citizens, abandon allies, and play politics with disasters. Believe him. Tommy Lahren, Outkick host and Fox News contributor. What do you make of the media in this point? And two major outlets who have mainly backed Democrats in the past not jumping in at all.
Right. Well, these are not conservative publications or outlets. And as surprising as the Washington Post non-endorsement was, I actually found the LA Times non-endorsement to be even more shocking because that is Kamala Harris's hometown newspaper, of course, the largest and most respected newspaper in the state of California. So that to me is very telling. I actually find these non-endorsements more telling than the polls at this point, Harris, and I'll tell you why. It's because unlike what Brian Stelter was trying to set up, that perhaps these owners of these publications were afraid of a Donald Trump authoritarian presidency. I don't believe any of that. More so, I believe these publications are.
I don't believe any of that either. You know, all this rhetoric, oh, he's going to put people in chains and this and that. I mean, we had 4 years with the man. Why he didn't just go ahead on and put us in chains then? I mean, you know.
So what the French Post is there to think about?
What are you talking about? People sound crazy out here with all that type of sideways ass talk. It's illegal to enslave anybody in America. It can't be done. What are we talking about? Listen, look. This is wild out here. And to be honest with you, though, the things that I've seen and research that I've done, man, Donald Trump is cooler than what the fuck y'all think. Y'all aren't actually doing any research out there. Like, seriously. You know, all this, you know, races and all this other type of crap. Listen, look, we all grew up in a racist country. Racism was built into this country just like Christianity was. And it's just facts. You know, nowadays, you know, it just is what it is. Hell, I've even seen black people that are racist. Come on now.
Slowly but surely unhitching their wagons from the Kamala Harris campaign. They made the mistake in 2016, most of media did, with going all in on Hillary Clinton. She had a 91% chance of winning. They were utterly embarrassed when Donald Trump won in 2016. I think that they are trying to save themselves from going down that path again. They don't want to be mentioned in the same breath as a Kamala Harris non-presidency. So I think that is very, very telling. And add that to the Teamsters Union failing to make an endorsement. You've got three major Democrat or left-leaning entities that are not in for Harris this close to an election.
But what we know has been reported about the Teamsters, though, I think is even further indication of a problem perhaps for Kamala Harris. And that is that's a union that reportedly a lot of the members wanted to go differently than the actual union representatives. So you have a situation where the representatives would not have been able to do exactly what the people wanted, and that was to majority support Trump. I mean, it is a collision here. A major part of former President Trump's closing argument now, because this whole hour we've been looking at closing arguments from both transgender athletes in women's sports. He said this during the Faulkner-focused town hall with me and all women voters in Georgia.
How do you plan on addressing the transgender issue in women's sports? I have 9 grandchildren, 6 of them female, all playing sports, and we are very concerned for their safety, not just on the field and the courts, but in their locker rooms as well.
It's such an easy question, and everybody in the room, and you know that answer, we're not going to let it happen.
How do you stop it? Do you go to the sports leagues? Do you go to the Olympic
You just ban it.
councils?
The president bans it. You just don't let it happen.
Olympic gold medal winner Caitlyn Jenner, who started her transition nearly a decade ago, has co-authored an op-ed in the New York Post. Female athletes are losing opportunities to compete, earn scholarships, and enjoy the activities they once loved. And reversing this dangerous trend will require strong national leadership. Former President Donald Trump has proven himself to be the right leader to take on this challenge. The Trump campaign also flooding the airwaves with ads like this.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Did I just hear this right? Caitlyn Jenner. Hold on. We gotta go back here. We gotta go back. Did I just hear this right? Hold on.
And bans it. You just don't let it happen.
Olympic gold medal winner Caitlyn Jenner, who started her transition nearly a decade ago, has
Caitlyn Jenner. And we all know who this is now. We all know who Caitlyn Jenner is.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Caitlyn Jenner used to be Bruce Jenner, married to the Kardashians' mom. Hold on here. Am I hearing this right? I'm trying to just make sure I'm hearing this right.
co-authored an op-ed in the New York Post. Female athletes are losing opportunities to compete, earn scholarships, and enjoy the activities they once loved. And reversing this dangerous trend will require strong national leadership. Former President Donald Trump has proven himself to be the right leader to take on this challenge.
So is Caitlyn Jenner endorsing Trump? Hold on here. Hold on. We all know that that Bruce Jenner transitioned into Caitlyn Jenner. Now we have this right here from the New York Post saying that Caitlyn Jenner is basically, she's saying that in order to give the actual natural born women their actual leadway to women's sports, is going to take strong leadership to get that back out of. So is Caitlyn Jenner not supporting the Democrats? Hold on. I'm thrown off because Caitlyn Jenner is a transgendered woman. So I'm confused here. I'm confused. Hold on. Oh, I'm confused.
Compete, earn scholarships, and enjoy the activities they once loved. And reversing this dangerous trend will require strong national leadership. Former President Donald Trump has proven himself to be the right leader to take on this challenge. The Trump campaign also flooding the airwaves with ads like this.
Kamala supports transgender sex changes in jail with our money.
Kamala even supports letting biological men compete against our girls in their sports. Kamala is for they, them. President Trump is for you.
You get the last 30 seconds of the show.
There's a lot of moral clarity on this issue from the Trump campaign, but I'd also like to mention that Donald Trump has been incredibly sensitive when talking about this, and having Caitlyn Jenner in his corner is also very powerful. Listen, you can understand and you can be sensitive to the transgender community without.
So Caitlyn Jenner is in Donald Trump's corner. Wow. So all this trope about, you know what I'm saying, transgender situation, stuff like, you even have some transgender women out here that are not down for that Democratic bullshit.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
We have to pay attention to facts out here. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
Without believing that we should be paying for transgender surgeries for prisoners, without believing that we should have transitions on minors, without believing that transgenders should be in women's sports locker rooms and restrooms. There needs to be moral clarity on this issue. The American people, a majority of the American people, believe that women's sports must be protected. And this is going to be a social issue that's not going away anytime soon. It's great to hear the Trump campaign address it head on.
Tommy Lahren, thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Yo, hey. It is what it is on that one. It's definitely wild out here. It's definitely wild. It's the first time I'm hearing about that. Caitlyn Jenner is endorsing Donald Trump. And these are things that we're not hearing about en masse right now. Caitlyn Jenner, used to be Bruce Jenner, that was married to the Kardashians, that has the two youngest daughters by the mother Kardashian, the two Jenner girls. is now endorsing Donald Trump as a transgendered woman. Wow. Hey, this keeps getting deeper and deeper here. The information keeps getting wilder and wilder. People, listen, look, okay. Even Caitlyn Jenner, which she used to be an Olympic star, she's not even for transgendered women being in women's sports. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So it's down to the wire now. It's down to the wire, and shots are about to be fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah. Main event. We got Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay interviewing Kamala Harris out here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. And yes, this is what's going down right now. So we're going to dive off into this, and we're going to see what type of scribble, scrabble, and babble and all this type of shit that was going down on Club Shay Shay with Kamala Harris. Yeah, let's dive off into this, people. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
Duty Black Ops 6, the woman that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today. She's the highest ranking woman in U.S. history. She's made a career of being first. She's the first woman to serve as Attorney General, African-American, Asian-American descent. She's been district attorney of San Francisco. She was the nation's first Indian-American senator. She's the first woman, first Black Asian-American to be elected vice president. She set the record for the most tie-breaking votes cast by a vice president. She's the first Black woman, Asian-American in U.S. history to win the presidential nomination of a major party. She's the first HBCU grad, making us proud. She's a Howard University alum. She's a member of the prestigious Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Here she is in person, Madam VP, Kamala Harris. Madam VP, how you doing?
Thank you very well, Shannon. How you
It is
doing?
an extreme honor, privilege, and a pleasure to have you on Club Shay Shay. CJ, who's the producer here, when we started this journey, Madam VP, 4 years ago, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, influencers.
Yeah.
VPs and presidential hopefuls were on the bingo card. You're here, so I want to thank you very much.
I thank you.
When we have guests come on, Madam VP, we like to toast. And what I read on this card, you don't deserve this, you earned this. Being the first in so many areas. And you make us proud. I just want you to know you make us proud for what you've been able to accomplish. And we're 12 days away, and we hope you have an even greater accomplishment. So here's to continue.
Oh, Lord, he already shucking and jiving.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Shout out to Willie Brown. Shout out to Willie Brown, who helped Kamala Harris, get to where she's at today. Listen, look, if it wasn't for Willie Brown, it is what it is out here. Let's keep going. She earned it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Lord, we starting off wrong already. Shannon, what you doing?
Your success and everything you've done and everything that you will do.
Oh, bless you. And thank you. And to you, Shannon, to you for all the.
Hold on. Is anything in those cups? I don't see shit in those damn glasses.
Success and the voice you give to so many issues. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And
Much.
cheers to you.
Cheers.
And I'm not going to actually drink this because I might fall asleep. And I need to do this
I don't want you
with
to fall
Barack
asleep.
Obama this afternoon.
We don't want you to fall asleep.
So here we are. Cheers to everybody.
So before we get into the things that you want to do once you be.
That's how you know it ain't real. She didn't even take the sip. And it wasn't that much in that damn glass. It wasn't that much. Y'all saw the amount that Shannon had. She had pretty much the same amount. He barely took a sip out that damn glass. Man, come on, man. Why you ain't take a sip, Kamala? You black, right? You black? Allegedly. Why you ain't take a sip of the drink?
Become president of the United States. I want to go back. When you found out when President Biden called you and said that he was no longer going to seek re-election.
Yeah.
And you got that call. Do you remember where you were and what you thought when you heard him say these words to you?
I do. So I was home. It was a Sunday afternoon. And my niece, her husband, and their 2 young daughters were visiting and staying with us. And I promised the kids I'd have pancakes and bacon and everything.
Okay.
And then after that, I had a puzzle for the kids, and we were sitting down to do the puzzle.
Okay.
And the phone rang.
Okay.
And it was President Biden. And so that's when he told me. And it was obviously life-changing in so many ways. But, you know, I have to tell you, Shannon, I at that moment, I knew what it would mean, but
I'm telling you, DraftKings.
So she knew what it would mean. Why we didn't have a primary election? Why we did not have a primary election? Excuse me, y'all. I knew it was going to be commercials pop up with this one. We ain't had no commercials all night, but I knew it was going to pop up.
I had a puzzle for the kids, and we were sitting down to do the puzzle.
Okay.
And the phone rang.
Okay.
And it was President Biden. And so that's when he told me. And it was obviously life-changing in so many ways. But, you know, I have to tell you, Shannon, I at that moment, I knew what it would mean, but not in the detail of it, but I certainly understood the seriousness and the gravity of the moment. And actually, one of the first people I called was my pastor. Wow. Okay. I knew I needed a moment to.
Now, hold on. So if the first person you called, one of the first people you said you called was your pastor, so why at the rally? Hold on. Why at the rally? Why was you at the rally saying that at the end of the day, you had a problem, you know, with they're saying Jesus is Lord. And you was like, well, you must be at the wrong rally. Hold on. I mean, am I right or wrong here? Am I right or wrong? Hold on. Am I right or wrong? Let's go here now. Let's go here now. Let's go back.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Okay, so you meant to go down to the smaller one down the street. So what does that mean, Kamala? What did you mean by that? But you say the first person you called was your pastor. Okay. All right.
To just be still, and for my spirit and my mind to have clarity about the seriousness of the moment and my role. And I'll never forget that call or that moment or that day.
Your life instantaneously changed in that moment.
Yes, it did.
Because now all of a sudden you weren't going to be running, you weren't going to be the VP anymore. You're going to be front and center. And
Right.
you knew what the undertaking, having been 4 years as the vice president, what that moment would mean.
I had a sense of it, you know, like so many of us, you know, when you this is your life, right? So there are those moments where your instinct kicks in sometimes before your conscious mind and thoughts do.
Right.
And my instinct kicked in immediately that I need to focus and I need to do certain things immediately, which included making, I think we estimated I made over 100 calls that day. My team, and I have an incredible team, all came in, and nobody expected, right? It was a Sunday afternoon.
Correct.
In fact, we actually joked who had taken a shower that day. Because, people came in their workout clothes, different people and, a bandana around their head, just, and came in, and we then, for hours and hours, well into the night.
Did you tell them? Did you tell them why you had summoned them to come to your place? Did you give them that news, or were you waiting for them to get there to share that news with them?
Well, so the news started to, as you can imagine, pretty much immediately, and but you know, of the many blessings that I have and have had, one of them is an incredible team of people around me. You know what that's like,
Yes.
where they're just there and they will rise to a moment. And no matter how high that moment is, or meaning how serious it is, and what I love, and it's certainly my own work ethic, that there is no job too small or too big. If there's something that needs to get done.
So although you have a huge role now, what's a typical day like for you now once you've been thrust into this? What time are you normally getting to bed? What time are you getting up? And what's some of the activities that you do in a given day?
I'd probably estimate 14-hour, 15-hour days.
Okay.
When I wake up, no matter how little sleep or how much.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
it's like mind, body, and spirit, right? And then, and that's the only time of my day I really own. And then it is, these days, it's not unusual for me to be in 3 or even 4 cities in one day. Rallies with thousands of people, 10,000 people showing up. Making calls to folks. Just now I landed in Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta, who greets me every single time. So I'll talk with elected leaders who are supportive about, so for example, here in Atlanta, what do we need to do to make sure that we're giving folks the resources to knock on doors and remind folks of the power of their voice? And 12 days in, it really is a lot about trying to focus on getting folks to know their power, to not let anybody suppress or silence their voice, and to vote.
Right. So breakfast, what does Madam VP eat for breakfast, or do you have time to, or is it on the go?
No, when I was younger, I didn't think I needed breakfast. I wasn't a breakfast eater.
Okay.
Now I have breakfast every morning. It's usually a spinach omelet. It's not very exciting.
Right.
But it's protein with a little vegetable. And I like chicken, apple sausage, and some toast, and then I'm gone.
Madam VP, you're a couple of years older than myself, so we kind of grew up in the 80s. But I'm only 35.
Come on now, I'm your guest.
No, but you only 30. But we grew up.
But just keep moving, because I'm gonna give you a shovel in a minute.
I see. You won't let it go. Dang. We could have just moved on past that real quick, but you drew attention to it. But we grew up in the 70s with music.
Yes.
Went in fire. Ohio players.
Oh yes, fire. Come on.
Oh, you were like fire.
Come on.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, did she get these questions beforehand? Because fire. See, I just don't get the vibe. Grew up in the 70s, stuff like that. Was she still in well, she may not have still been in Canada in the 70s, but I'm just saying, fire, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, I just don't get her listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, I just really growing up in the Indian household back in those type of days when all parents and stuff like that through all communities were stricter. I'm talking about the Asians, blacks, white, all communities were a lot more stricter as a community back then. They were still communities. She listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire as a Indian child. Like, okay. All right.
What do you listen to now?
Oh, I wish I were listening to more music, to be honest with you, because I love it. Just but
you don't have downtime, like when you have downtime?
I don't have any downtime, really. I know my little violin I'm playing right now with you. I really don't. But when I love jazz. If it's from Thelonious Monk to Miles Davis. I love Aretha. I was just with Stevie.
Right.
Oh my good. Stevie, Miles Davis. Are you real? Are you real? Listen, hold on here. This woman listens to Miles Davis.
Stevie's, can I tell you?
Yes, you can.
Bucket list. Stevie Wonder on my birthday sang me happy birthday. Can you believe
Happy
your birthday to me?
Oh my.
Can you imagine?
No.
I was literally, it was surreal. Can you, a bucket list moment
Right.
when Stevie Wonder himself sings you happy birthday?
As an 18-year-old,
Yeah.
could you imagine
Never.
your life would have been like this?
Never.
This many years
Never.
later?
And let me tell you, my mother she had every Stevie and every Aretha Franklin record, every album, like literally every one of them. So songs in the key of life, like all those Stevie songs that were about everything from the movement to optimism. I would have never at 18 thought that he'd be singing me happy birthday. Ever. Never. Never.
That's the least. I mean, but obviously everybody knows who Stevie is. He was a child prodigy, 13 years old, and he was doing great things. But to see, Madam VP, what you've been able to do, you've had so many firsts. The first woman attorney general, African American, Asian American descent. You was the DA of San Francisco. You were the first Indian American U.S. senator.
And second black.
Okay. So it's a little choppy right here. We just got a little choppy. We got to pay attention.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, we about to fire some shots. All right. It's a little choppy right here now. Let's go back. Let's go back real quick. Hope I'm at the right mark. Hold on here.
Stevie Wonder on my birthday to.
As an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Could you
sing me happy birthday? Ever.
You've had so many firsts. The first woman attorney general, African American, Asian.
First attorney, African American. Okay.
American descent. You was the DA
of African American descent. Hold on. She's not of African American descent.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Sorry, Shannon. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? This is a huge W for Shannon Sharpe. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of, especially here on YouTube, it's not a lot of individuals that are actually interviewing these super political figures like this, vice presidents or presidents, stuff like that. I can't think of the young gentleman's name that interviewed Donald Trump, but he's a huge YouTuber as well. But yeah. Okay, listen, look, it's not a lot of that. And this is the thing right here. The first African American, she's not African American.
Of San Francisco. You were the first Indian American U.S. senator.
Right. But she is the first U.S. American Indian American senator. That is true. So both of these cannot be true in the same aspect right here. They can't be true. Both of them can't be. She can't be African American and Indian American. We got to pay attention here. Hold on, people. We got to pay attention here.
Aretha Franklin record. Thing from the movement to.
You were the first Indian American.
Hold on.
First, she had.
You imagine your life would have been like this?
Never.
This many years
Never.
later?
And let me tell you, my mother she had every Stevie, like all those Stevie songs that were about singing me happy birthday. Ever.
You've had so many firsts. The first woman attorney general, African American, Asian American descent. You was the DA of San Francisco. You were the first Indian American U.S. senator.
And second black woman ever in the history of the United States Senate elected. Second.
Now, at this critical time right now, right here at this critical time, what she just say? What did she just say?
Woman attorney general, African American, Asian American descent. You was the DA of San Francisco. You were the first Indian American U.S. senator.
And second Black woman ever in the history of the United States Senate elected.
So now she's the second Black woman to be elected. Hold on. Hold on. But I thought,
see, Madam VP, what you've been able to do. You've had so many firsts. The first woman attorney general,
Yeah.
African American, Asian American descent.
Mhm.
You was the DA of San Francisco. You were the first Indian American U.S. senator.
the first Indian American U.S. senator. Okay.
And second Black woman ever in the history of the United States Senate elected.
So how can you be the first Indian woman in the Senate and also the first, the second Black woman in the Senate? Like,
And what the French toast is there to think about?
so you the first Indian American woman, allegedly, to be elected in the Senate, and also the second Black woman, American Black woman, to be elected to the Senate. What the hell are we talking about out here? What are we talking about? What is going on? Man, stop. Hold on.
You, Al Bundy, are a pig. I repeat, a pig.
Shut up! See, I don't give a rat's ass what you think.
How you gonna be both?
Second in the history of the United States Senate.
Have you had an opportunity to sit back and reflect and it's like, wow, but work is not yet done?
That's more where I am. The work is not done. The work is not yet done. There's so much to do. I mean, to your point, being in the Senate, there is a weight of responsibility that I know we all feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we have been blessed with an experience that allows us to be a role model.
Great.
And to hopefully inspire people and to remind them of what's important or point out the things that need to be addressed. So, for example, as only the second Black woman elected to the United States Senate, I took on a real role of leadership around Black maternal mortality, which affects Black women and affects their spouses, their husbands, their families, their children. And I feel a sense of responsibility and a very strong.
Yeah, affects us not to have any families anymore, but that's neither here nor there.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Duty to make sure that I use my voice and in a way that is about lifting up people who have not always been in the room.
Hello, America. Mr. States and Shape stepped out for some Black Ops 6.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna go a little bit. I think that's a commercial he had going on. All right. Hold on. We're right here.
If I could speak to my 18-year-old self, I would probably tell her, continue to keep your friends. You know, my best friend from kindergarten is still one of my best friends.
What?
Yes.
Y'all made it to the first grade as best friends?
Yes. In fact, she's been out knocking on doors in North Carolina just this last week for me. Wow. I would say, hold on to that, which is your friends are so important. Your family is so important. I would probably encourage myself at 18.
She for friends and family and stuff like that. But listen, look, if we keep deleting these babies out here, who's going to have friends and family?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Hey, I'm just asking the questions here. Y'all provide the answers down in the comment section. Let me know.
And to remember that you have a lot of people who are supporting you, even if they don't know you. That's what I mentor a lot of people, Shannon. So this is what I'm really reflecting on, which is what I tell the young people I mentor, including to know that even when you are in that room and you're the only one who looks like you or who has had your life experience, to know you are not alone in that room and that you must therefore walk in that room, chin up, shoulders back, knowing we're all there applauding you. When I mentor young women and men, I remind them that you are often going to be told, well, it's not your time, not your turn. You're too young. Nobody like you has done this before. And I tell them, don't you ever listen to that. I like to say, I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear no. You ask me what I eat for breakfast? I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear it.
Right.
And that's part of what are my life lessons that I try to share with young people, to remind them that you cannot ever be burdened by other people's limited ability to understand who you are. Like, don't let their limited ability burden you about your own ability,
Madam VP, you were raised by a single mom. What did that experience tell you about your mom, and what did it tell you about you?
Well, it told me that one of the things that is precious is to build community and family.
Okay.
Like my mother,
Community and family, but family consists of mother, father, children, all this type of stuff. Okay.
She understood that there is a community that she wanted her children to be raised in. And she was very intentional and purposeful about that. And so I always say to people, even when I took the stage as the nominee for the Democratic nomination, that, there is the family that you have by birth, and there is also the family you have by love. And they're equally family,
Yes.
right? And I learned that from my mother. So my mother, I had all these aunties and uncles. My Uncle Sherman, who was one of the first Black men to graduate from Berkeley School of Law, who, when we were young girls, sat us down and taught us how to play chess, because Uncle Sherman said, you need to understand how the chessboard works, because that's the way the world works. There are going to be different players with different moves, and you need to see the whole board.
That's the one thing I agree with her on as far as the game of chess. That is the one thing I agree with her on. Seriously.
My mother raised us around, like my Auntie Chris, who went to Howard in the 50s and pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha. And she was one of my incredible role models growing up. And that was one of the big reasons I wanted to go to Howard University and pledge Alpha Kappa Alpha. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned from my mother. And I try to also share with people, right? Which is the beauty of community. And it's the way I am, right? Which is, the children in my life, whether they be my own or, my godchildren or whomever, right? That it's a collective responsibility that we have.
Did you know you were different? I mean, were there a lot of people in the community that looked like you or like your mom, or did your mom tell you were different?
Well, my mother taught us to, and everyone in my growing up, they would tell all of us kids that we were special.
Okay.
I don't think we were particularly special.
Right.
But they told us we were, and we believed them.
Yes.
We believed them. I think that's such an important part of what we can all do for the children and the children in our lives. And, but my mother raised 2 Black girls to be proud Black women. Back to music, one of the sound.
So your Indian mother raised 2 Black girls by your father, who was woo. So you are of Indian and Irish descent, and your mother raised 2 strong Black women.
Soundtracks from my childhood was, you are young, gifted, and Black, and that's what it was.
I'll get the phone number later.
2 sides to the coin about when you have relationships in your life that touch you deeply, and then to lose that person, it leaves a big void, right? That's the 2 sides. And I think that part of what I was just talking about this, but the big part about grief is especially if you lose somebody to a sickness, to an illness. I think it's really important that you try to remember them as they lived and not as they died.
Right.
Because I think that's how they'd want us to remember them, but also to remember their suffering, which hopefully was a fraction of their time on this earth, is to compound the grief in a way that I think it adds to the pain. And what they'd want is that their active memory, that our active memory of them is about when they were vibrant and alive. So
let's get into things that will change what will happen if you were to become president, say in the next 12 to 13 days. Polls suggest that voters trust President Trump, former President Trump, more on the economy. What can you tell the voters, our viewing audience, our listening audience, that if you were to become president, while Madam VP Kamala Harris will be much better on the economy than what President Trump was?
Well, so I'm really glad you brought that up, Shannon. So first of all, let's clear up certain myths.
Okay.
You know those checks that went out?
Yes, those skimmies.
Right. Right.
Stimulus check.
Yeah, I know. Well, right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got to be for stimulus, but they call them stimmies. Okay.
The reason those came about is because there was a Democratic majority in the House of Representatives and Congress. People like Maxine Waters, people like Hakeem Jeffries, right?
Yes.
Who did the work of pushing to say, people need help right now and we need to send out checks. There was a whole lot of opposition to it, including from Donald Trump's White House.
Yes, even him. I think he was resistant to it at first.
Yes. That's why those checks, remember, Congress holds the purse.
Yes.
So really, Congress wrote those.
Okay, maybe at first, but then though too, the research had to be done. So once the research gets done and we figure out the things and we figure out the math, then maybe the math added up. Just maybe the math added up.
Those checks. But then Donald Trump, unlike any president before or after, decided he put his name on those checks.
So therefore people thought
Donald Trump, they gave me that check. And so let's clear that up first and foremost.
Okay.
But let's also deal with where he was in terms of his policies on the economy. He gave the biggest tax cuts for billionaires and the biggest corporations, which caused an incredible deficit. He tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which
bullshit. It calls for America to have jobs over here.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
It calls for us to stop being workhorses of the world. And I'm going to keep saying it. We as American citizens are the workhorses of the world. We are the consumers of the world. We consume all the other world's products. China, Japan, Indonesia, all these places and stuff like that. And you know, when these people that own these corporations take their products and stuff like that to be built and made in other places and then ship them back over here and things like that, and then whatever administration that's in power does not put a certain amount of tariffs on them to where they need to actually have their corporations build things over here on a day-to-day basis and provide American jobs over here all the time, 365 days of the year and things like that. We end up paying more because we're having to actually have them ship their shit over here and stuff like that. And we're paying for them to ship their shit over here instead of us having our stuff being made over here, which we could get it for way more cheaper because it's made in America.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
which we also call Obamacare, which benefited so many people, including and in particular Black people in America who otherwise were denied by the insurance companies health coverage because of pre-existing conditions.
Yes, that's most important. Let the people know.
Right?
With a Affordable Care Act, if you have a pre-existing condition, insurance companies can no longer deny you coverage.
That's exactly right. And if you think about what that means in the context of also knowing the big health disparities we have in the Black community, and how more likely, therefore, Black folks
we have in the Black community
might be to have pre-existing conditions,
high blood pressure, diabetes,
all of that,
cancers,
all of that.
Yes.
Asthma for our children.
Yes. Sickle cell trait.
It's all of that. So by getting rid of the pre-existing
Oh, hold on. What did Shannon just say? I'm not finished. I'm sorry. I'm slipping a little bit here. Hold on.
big health disparities we have in the Black community,
Correct.
and how more likely, therefore, Black folks might be to have pre-existing
High
conditions,
blood pressure, diabetes,
all of
certain
that,
cancers.
all of that,
Yes.
asthma for our children.
Yes. Sickle cell trait.
It's
Sickle cell trait out here. Let's bring this up. Shannon, thank you. So why did she lock up that mother in San Francisco? Because of the truancy situation, and the child had to miss school because the child had sickle cell, and the child was in so much pain for so many days out of the week till at the end of the day the child had to miss school, and it was a law in place that children could only miss so many days of school, and after that the parents would be under law, under, basically damn near about to be arrested or get arrested for not sending their children to school. Man, wow.
all of that. So by getting rid of the pre-existing condition ban, what that did, but he wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
What we have done, and part of my policies going forward include what we need to do to not only retain the cap that we got on insulin at $35 a month for seniors. By the way, Black folks are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes.
Correct.
He wants to get rid of it with that Project 2025. Everybody needs to check that out. What he would do to get rid of social.
He not down for Project 2025. He's already put that out there. The information is real. He's not down for Project 2025. Come on now.
Social Security, or at least raise the age to 70. So you'd have to work to 70 to be able to qualify.
Right.
Get rid of Medicare, get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And that's just on health policy, not to mention bringing back not only tax cuts.
I don't like the fact that she just, listen, look, the age of retirement got raised under the Biden administration. It just got raised a few years back from 65 to, I think it's 72. It just got raised. Donald Trump did not raise the age of retirement.
Cuts for the richest people, but what he would do that is about eliminating or reducing the ability of corporations to be required to pay overtime pay.
So you could work and the corporations wouldn't have to pay you for
overtime.
Who work for free?
That's right. And overtime means you are actually working a longer day, which means you are more tired.
Right.
Which means it requires.
Hold on.
All of that.
Yes.
Asthma for our children.
Yes. Sickle cell trait.
It's all of that. So by getting rid of the pre-existing condition ban, what that did, but he wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
What we have done, and part of my policies going forward include he wants to get rid of it with that Project 2025. Everybody needs bringing back not only tax cuts for the richest people, but what he would do that is about eliminating or reducing the ability of corporations to be required to pay overtime pay.
So you could work and the corporations wouldn't have to pay you for
overtime.
Who work for free?
No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. Hold on. That's not what he's saying. All right, hold on here. Hold on here. Because that's not what he's saying. Excuse me. Yeah. We're about to go here now. Hold on. I hope I can find it.
Again, we're going to make it affordable. Right? I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
Okay, I mean, hold on. I mean, he just said that right there. He just said that right there. So what is she talking about? What is she talking about?
Free.
That's right. And overtime means you are actually working a longer day, which means you are more tired,
Right.
which means it requires more exertion. That's why we have overtime pay. So you don't take advantage of workers. In addition to all of that,
so it's not going to be any tax on overtime. So that works well for the businesses. What is she talking about?
looking at Donald Trump, basically somebody who has never been understanding of the issues that affect the community about disparities. And I'm going to talk, for example, about how when he was a landlord, he denied rent to Black families. You look at what he did in terms of taking out a full-page ad in the New York Times against the Central Park Five, which were a bunch of, they're not young adults, they were teenagers, Black and brown teenagers, took out a full-page ad on in the New York Times calling for their execution for crimes they did not commit. They were innocent. Donald Trump.
Stop it. That man did not know that at that time. It was not until years later that the evidence came out that they were exonerated for said crime. And then on top of that, before the facts, they actually admitted to doing the crime. Now, it came out later that they said that they were under duress of the officers to actually maybe, admit to these crimes. Now, the information, all that came out later. But back in 1989, this was the thing that was going on. This what was said. They admitted to doing the actual crime. And that crime was heinous. So, I mean, what do you expect people to do? Especially back in the 80s. We didn't have the technology that we have now, where information could travel a lot more faster, things like that. They didn't, back in 1989, we didn't have this instant information. So yeah, information got to everybody a lot more slower than it does today. So yeah, he thought that shit was heinous. Come on, man.
Who said of the first Black president of the United States, the birtherism, to have people question whether he was born in the United States, to try and diminish. And then most recently, you look in this very election, legal Black immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, saying they're eating their pets. So part of what we have to help people understand is don't think you're in Donald Trump's.
Those people are not legal. Not fully legal. They were under a program that they were brought over here under a 2-year program. They're not fully legal. They're temporarily legal.
Club. You're not.
Right.
He's not going to be thinking about you. You think he's having you over for dinner? You think that when he's with his buddies, his billionaire buddies, he's thinking about what we need to do to deal with addressing, for example, my work around what I'm doing to address disparities in Black men's health, around colon cancer, around what we need to do around screenings.
You ain't mentioned Black man's health the whole entire time you've been in office, bitch. Stop this shit. Colon cancer, Black men's health. Since when you start talking about Black men's health out here? What is this? I ain't never heard Kamala Harris come out of her mouth talking about no Black men's health. What is she talking about? What the hell? Man, Black men's health? Are you just recently started trying to get Black men on board with your shit when you tried to say that we giving us this little stuff, legalizing weed and these few little loans and shit like that and stuff. Come on, baby. What are you talking about? Black men's health? Okay, man. Okay.
What we need to do around prostate cancer, Black men are twice as likely to have, and screenings. What we need to do to address.
I'm a survivor of prostate cancer.
Right. You know what I'm talking about.
Go James and the Lakers are back putting on a show. And I got to get the best deal on tickets.
Okay, Shannon. I got you, but we got to get back to it. Hold on.
The 400 is
So let's talk about that. I'm glad you raised that. So for example, groceries, yes, the prices are still too high. You know it, I know it.
Yeah.
Part of my plan is to deal with price gouging. I did it when I was Attorney General. I'm gonna do it as president, which is these companies that will jack up the prices of groceries to take advantage of people in need, and in particular during a crisis, like what you see around the pandemic or Hurricane Helene.
Yes.
Okay. Pandemic, Hurricane Helene. She opened that door. She just opened that fucking door. I'm about to.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I'm about to fire some fucking shots out here. Listen, look. If you are giving these corporations the proper tax breaks that they need to come over here, build over here, hire over here, and things like that, the money, the products would be lower because they have the tax breaks to lower the prices. And then as far as with what she said about, you're talking about this is correct. Hold on. We're right here. Hold on.
That Black families are 40% less likely to own their home.
Hold on.
And
Hold on.
when I was Attorney General, I'm gonna do it as president, which is these companies that will jack up the prices of groceries to take advantage of people in need, and in particular during a crisis, like what you see around the pandemic or Hurricane Helene.
Yes.
So Hurricane Helene. When you went out there, Kamala, and you stood in the middle of that area, which was full of tragedy, full of despair, it was no hope in sight out there. Seriously. And you offered those people $750 damn after they've seen on the news months and at least a year prior, before Hurricane Helene hit to that area. They seen on the news where y'all was giving those migrants up in New York, California, Chicago, y'all was giving those illegal people all these hundreds of thousands of dollars to live and eat, and they're just throwing food around like it's nothing, leaving receipts in bodegas and things like that with $13,000s on receipts with almost $4,000 to $5,000 that they could get in actual spendable cash. And you expect those people in a hurricane to accept the fact that you're going to give them $750, and then on top of that, they had no electricity in order to actually get online to sign up for said thing. You are crazy.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You're crazy. This is where the memory comes in. This is where the respect for humanity comes in. What are you talking about, Kamala? You offered those people $750 and talking about they had to get online to sign up for it when they didn't even have electricity. It took Trump to come out there with his regime and stuff like that in order to bring Elon Musk in, to bring in his good satellites in order for some type of internet situation to get back on track, so people could have proper communication. You came out there with no communication. You came out there with no skills. You came out there with no actual structure on how to get these people back on track. You came out there with $750 damn after spending billions of dollars on illegal people that you brought over here on a 2-year fucking program that at the end of the day, man.
Right?
Yes.
Milton, right? So there's that. In terms of housing, first of all, we know that Black families are 40% less likely to own their home. And we can go back to redlining. We can go back to policies that were by law or practice meant to not give Black folks equal opportunity to home ownership, especially in certain neighborhoods. We can go back to what happened around the GI Bill.
Yeah.
And when all those, the great generation, we call them, came back, and there was federal policy to say, you all fought for our country. We're going to give you a boost around helping you buy homes. But those Black servicemen, and it was mostly men, those Black servicemen did not. So you had then a time when there was a boost for, it ended up being not for Black service members. So part of my policy is to, one, create a fund so that we will give a $25,000 down payment to first-time homeowners to just help people get in the door. We will deal with the rent issue, because part of what we're seeing in Atlanta, in places across our country, is these corporations are buying up all these properties, which means then that they don't have to deal with competition between the.
You mean the corporations that are up under the Democratic situation? Because I mean, it's just facts.
Properties, and they're jacking up rent costs. So it's about also going after that corporate gouging around what they're doing to buy up and then jack up the prices of rent. We also need to help people with small business ownership. I did, even before I was running for president, a tour, I called it the Opportunity Economy Tour, focused on Black men and Black entrepreneurs. What we know is, unlike Donald Trump, who got $400 million handed to him practically on a silver platter. And by the way, Shannon filed for bankruptcy 6 times. Everybody wants to say he's a great businessman. Take a look at his record. I know that so many of our entrepreneurs.
What did Trump say? And shout out to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle did a skit on Saturday Night Live, and he stated what Trump had said about, you know what I'm saying, dealing with these people and the tax situation. You know, Dave Chappelle was like, you know, and basically what he basically broke down was, Trump was like, the system is rigged. And what it came to was, you know what I'm saying, the system is rigged because, well, you know what I'm saying, he's escaping the taxes and paying taxes and stuff like that. What she's basically saying right here. And shit, Dave Chappelle was like, Trump said, that makes me smart. Because at the end of the day, though, all of them using the fucking tax code. All these rich people, she rich too, her husband, Imhoff, who been knocking women up inside the buildings and down the dryers and whatever you want. He been knocking women around out here, allegedly. Busting women upside the head. Imhoff. Yeah, all of them use the tax code when you got enough money to use the tax code properly. Come on, man. All right, okay.
Who have great ideas, don't have access to capital, but they have serious work ethic, great ideas, and a plan to do the work. So part of my plan is to increase access to capital, including giving $20,000 forgivable loans for startup capital for people to buy the equipment.
Right.
And then to change the tax deduction. So whereas it is now $5,000, to make it $50,000 to start a new business, because nobody can start a new business on $5,000. And the direct benefit when we're looking at Black entrepreneurs is profound. And all it is about saying this: Americans in general, regardless of their race or gender, we have ambition, we have aspirations, we have dreams, but not everyone has access to the opportunity to let some actually accomplish that. I want to increase access to opportunity.
Listen, unfortunately, I've gone viral a few times, but I've never gone to make sure Social Security benefits continue, because there are reports that it could possibly be depleted by 2033. And there are estimated that 11,000 people turn at least 65 years of age every single day.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to make sure, because that, you know, people, disability, retirement, survivors with beneficiaries, what are you going to do to make sure that that continues?
So Shannon, to your point, there was an independent economic review of Donald Trump's plan, which shows that Social Security in the next 6 years would be insolvent under his plan, meaning that it would not be able to pay out what hardworking people who deserve dignity in their retirement deserve. And as you and I both know, there are a lot of our seniors who their only source of income is that Social Security check.
That's correct.
Right? It's the
Right. That's the reason why they don't need to be taxed on it. That's the reason why they don't need to be taxed on it.
only way they're going to pay the rent or have food on the table. So my plan is about doing what we need to do to put the resources back into Social Security, but also expanding it. Because here's part of the problem with Social Security is that for our aging seniors, if they are a couple, for example, and one of the spouses passes, that cuts their Social Security benefits almost in half. So part of my plan is to reconfigure it so that that surviving spouse does not then have a crisis where they've already lost their loved one. But we also just have to understand on a macro level, we've got to require that billionaires and corporations pay their fair share, right? They can afford to. And that's part of what is the difference between me and Donald Trump. My plan is about tax cuts for small businesses, for working people, for middle-class people. 100 million Americans will benefit around tax cuts. My plan is that no taxes will be raised for anybody making less than $400,000 a year. My plan is that we give young parents a $6,000 child tax credit to help them pay for child care for a
Okay, so if we got most of these chicks out here doing all this deleting, then how you gonna have the children to get the tax cuts if they're all deleted? I mean, you know.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm just asking.
A crib or a car seat, because you and I both know the vast majority of our young parents have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources. And back to the way I was raised, I know that the children of the community are the children of the community, that you and I will benefit from that young family having the resources they need. So it's about all of us benefiting, but it's a state of mind and it's a perspective. Mine is about thinking about the challenges people face and getting them help. Donald Trump is full-time focused on himself. You watch his rallies. He will spend full-time talking about, I was going to say Freddy Krueger, Hannibal Lecter. It might as well be Freddy Krueger. Hannibal Lecter. He'll spend full-time talking about his grievances, about what everyone has done to him. He'll talk about himself, but he does not talk about the American people. He does not talk about what he's going to do for middle class. He does not.
That's a lie. I just showed y'all. What? Okay.
Talk about what he's going to do for families, for working people. And we're 12 days out. This is probably one of the most serious elections that we have faced in our lifetime. My perspective, and I will be the kind of president who spends full time focused on the needs of the people. That has been my career. I have spent my whole career as a public servant trying to uplift the condition of other people, knowing what is possible and doing it with a sense of optimism. On January 20th, a new president is going into the White House. Period. A new president is going into the White House. Do you want to look at the Oval Office and see a Donald Trump who's going to be sitting there filling out his enemies list, spending full time figuring out retribution and revenge, or looking at the Oval Office and knowing you have a president in there who's creating a to-do list that's about what to do to help the American people?
So raising minimum age of Social Security, that's not on the table for you.
No. Look, people work hard all their lives. And they deserve to be able to retire with dignity. I'll tell you how I come at this. I come at it from a number of perspectives, including thinking about how I was raised in terms of how you take care of the elders, right? I think about it in terms of taking care of my mother when she was sick and dying from cancer. So one of my policies, for example, is to help Medicare pay for home health care for seniors. Why? Because look, I did it, and it means, trying to cook for an elder to make something they feel like eating, right? To help them put on a sweater. And we have so many people who are in the sandwich generation. They're raising their young kids and taking care of their parents. And either they have to deplete their savings to qualify for Medicaid, right? To be able to help pay for home health care, or they have to quit their job to do the work of taking care of their kids and their parent. And I just believe that's not right. That we should have policies that give people dignity, especially our seniors. So my plan is Medicare pays for home health care.
Okay.
And no, I would not raise the age of eligibility for Social Security, because the same thing, we shouldn't force people to work until they're 70 in order to retire.
Hold on. But it already has been raised. Listen,
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Okay.
And have a moment to just enjoy their life and not worry about how they're going to pay their rent.
Is Medicare for all a priority for you?
What is a priority for me is making sure that access to healthcare is a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. That's why I am in favor of and have pushed and been a leader on capping the cost of insulin at $35 a month. And why I intend to allow Medicare to actually negotiate against the big pharmaceutical companies to bring down the cost of prescription medication for everybody. That's why I have fought for what we need to do around making sure Medicare covers senior care. Access to health care should not be a question of how much money you have in your back pocket. That's just not right. And I feel strongly about that.
Blacks for Trump. They feel that Trump is better for the Black community. Can you explain Donald Trump's history with Blacks? Where did this come that all of a sudden, I mean, it's been like this because a lot of people used to say, I'm Donald Trump of the ghetto, because he was, I mean, for a lot of Blacks, not all, but for some Blacks, he was, Madam VP, whether we want to admit it or not, he's revered by some Blacks.
But here's the thing. The question for everybody, should he be president of the United States?
Okay.
Right? That's the question. Should he have the ability to sit behind the seal of the president of the United States when he says he wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States? You know what that would mean? In the Constitution of the United States is your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure, your Fifth Amendment right, your Sixth Amendment right to an attorney.
Well, a lot of rights going to be gone. The First Amendment.
But the First Amendment, the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Look, I'm in favor of the Second Amendment. I don't believe we should be taking anybody's guns away.
He ain't finna get rid of none of that shit.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
He ain't finna get rid of none of that. She sound all right.
He wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States. He is the same one, like I said earlier, who denied rent to Black families, who took out that full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of those children, who birtherism accusations against the first Black president. Not to mention please ask folks to Google Project 2025.
Yeah.
He would get rid of the $35 a month cap on insulin. We know how many of our seniors had it. I'll give you another example of why Donald Trump has not earned the support of folks to be president of the United States again. When he was president the last time, during the height of COVID, 1 in 3 Black Americans knew somebody who died from COVID. You remember those days?
I do.
And people could.
So we supposed to blame him for a disease or whatever we want to call it out here, you know, that even, you know, and of course Trump was like, well, you know, this is a China disease. It's China. And, you know, come to find out, yeah, that's where it come from. And then also, we also had Dr. Fauci at some point renege on the facts that he was adding on to the situation and things like that. Come to find out, the whole situation was bullshit.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
It was bullshit. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the point about having long memories. And we need to actually, and if you don't understand, listen, go back, Google it, research Dr. Fauci's, reneging on the situation. Man, come on, man. And Dr. Fauci at that time was the lead medical physician of the United States. This is crazy. Yes, and they try to blame Trump for every damn thing, especially when that shit happened. He had the lowest jobs and stuff like that. Before the pandemic happened, jobs were fine, the economy was fine, everything was going good. Of course, a pandemic went down. We didn't really know how shit was going to really go down. He didn't know how shit was really going down. Things like that. We were getting reports. Yes, some people probably did die, things like that. I'm not negating that. And these are the points. When shit like that happens, yes, the whole world shut down. Everybody was out of a job all across the world. So, of course, people didn't have jobs anymore. Come on, man.
Couldn't get their hands on a COVID test. At that very same time, Donald Trump as president secretly sent COVID tests to the president of Russia for his personal use. While Americans were dying every day, he has not earned the right to be president.
Okay, where's those facts? Where's those facts that this man did that? Now, listen, look, you know what I'm saying? We need the evidence, we need the facts that he did this. Where's the evidence of that?
Of the United States. It's one thing if he has a television show that's very popular. He can put his name on a building, even though we all know he was not a terribly good businessman, which is why he filed for bankruptcy 6 times. But that is one thing. To be president of the United States means to try and find common ground, to build consensus, to lift up the American people instead of trying to beat people down all the time. It means solving problems, which means you
I see you, John. Hold on.
have to be able to get out of your own head and scan to be concerned about the well-being of other people and then do something about it. Does anyone think Donald Trump thinks that way?
Yeah, well, empathy requires you to divorce your own ego to see yourself as someone else.
That's exactly right. And we know that's not his character. So it's about, is this the bright
Lies. I've seen interviews where they've asked Trump about things that we didn't even know nothing about. Hold on here. I may be going longer than I thought. I was trying not to go so fucking long here. I was trying not to go so long. Hold on, everybody. Jesus Christ. No, that's not it. That's not it. Where are you? Where are you? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Where are you? Yeah, it's crazy out here. I'm trying to show you guys something. Hopefully I can find it. If I can't find it, we'll keep going, but hopefully I can find it. I know I got it. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Come on now. Come on. Don't do me like this. Oh my goodness. I may not be able to find it. Yeah, I may not be able to find it. Oh man. Nah, I'm not able to find it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's keep going.
Right person for that job, right?
He said immigrants are taking black jobs. I don't know what those black jobs that they're taking. Can you elaborate on that? What the immigrants are taking? What black jobs are they?
It's just another example of him trying to divide and him trying to scare people. It's just another example of him doing that, of him trying to say it's either you or them, right? And the other thing is that it's in.
I mean, because it is you or what?
So what's the French toast is there to think about?
What are we talking about, baby? You're bringing in people over here illegally, have been doing this type of thing and then putting them up there taking black jobs. Listen, look. Come on now. I see things firsthand because I'm an average citizen. I'm boots on the ground out here. Seriously. This is ridiculous. I'm seeing it myself. Come on, people. It's crazy. Hold on. Listen, look. Let's see. So yeah. I'm gonna scratch right here and then yeah. Post a couple of these joints real quick. Let's see. Let's go here now. Not to mention yet. And go. You'll see. Hey, yeah, we definitely need help. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John out there. Real talk. Real talk. And you know what I'm saying? It's just the truth of the matter. And you know, the interview that I was trying to find, he was having an interview with another gentleman and things like that was interviewing him. And the man was talking to Trump about the donations and things like that Trump has done, you know, under the table secretly. And it was, you know, the stuff that Trump has done. And Trump was like, listen, look, I don't want the accolades from doing my due diligence of, you know, making these donations and trying to do these things and stuff like that. You know, he was like, I just like helping people. Hey, you know how Trump talk. I just like helping people. You know, with the hand gestures. You know how Trump is. You know what I'm saying? I just like helping people. You know, yeah. And you know, it is what it is, man. But Cheto, man, it is what it is out here. Y'all see it right there. Okay. Let's go here now. Let's see. Hey, yeah, she's slurring her words. But listen, look, she didn't even take a drink of the of Shannon Sharp's drink right there. So I don't know why. Well, she could be slurring her words because she probably already done had her intoxication, you know. Let's see. Here we go again. Yeah. Trying woke thoughts. Hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Hey, the paid replacements. And the thing about this is when we heard what everybody want to sit there and say is like what Trump talking out the side of his neck about the enemy within. The enemy within our country is the people that we have been allowing into our country, the illegals and stuff like that. That is the enemy within that he's talking about. He's not talking about natural born American citizens. He's not talking about us.
What's the French toast is there to think about?
He's not talking about the immigrants that come over here legally, that actually do the work, that actually present themselves as decent citizens. He's not talking about those people. He's not talking about natural born American citizens. He's talking about these illegals that have been allowed into this country, the enemy within. He's talking about those individuals up in Aurora that have ran these natural taxpayer citizens out of their households by gunpoint. He's talking about all these people up in New York that have stolen cop cars and stuff like that, that, you know what I'm saying, these illegals that are doing treacherous things out here. He's talking about them. That is the enemy within. And they want to play these manipulation games like he's talking about, you know, natural born American citizens and immigrants that came over here legally. No. And these are the problems that are going on here. When we talk about the rhetoric and stuff, it's disrespectful to us as American citizens. And we need not to be under the illusion of the thought process of this mess. No, he's not talking about us who actually pay the taxes that allow these people to be put up in these high-rise hotels in New York. Hotel Roosevelt is Hotel Roosevelt, New York, was a prestigious hotel at one point. Now it's a shelter for all these illegals. Damn, I should have put this in the broadcast too. I had that, but I'm gonna make another broadcast about that a later date. Y'all tune in. I'm telling you, hit that like, share, subscribe button out there for me. For real though, people. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah, man, it's crazy out here. All right, got one more here. Hey, them three letters out there. We all know about them 3-letter agencies. We all know about them 3-letter agencies. They be up to no good. They be up to no good out here, man. Seriously. The country is no longer under the control of the people. And that's the point. And the reason why in the Constitution, it's stated that we are, and this is the reason why they gave us the Second Amendment rights, to be able to protect ourselves from foreign and domestic. Okay? This is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, George Washington, all them that signed the Constitution, all that, foreign and domestic. This is the reason why. So when he says the enemy within, and we having all these illegal people that have come over here, this past administration right here, and they are what we need as American citizens to protect ourselves from. And we're seeing it. Real talk. Shout out to John, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bella, too. You know what I'm saying? Mad love to you guys. Hold on here. Let's see. Hey, yo.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You can't make this shit up.
John, you can't make that shit up. They were ahead of their time. That's why I just said what I said. They knew that it was going to come a day because they already had understood what they were doing by rebelling against England at that time. They understood it was going to come a day that we were going to need those specific constitutional laws put into place that we were going to need to protect ourselves and stuff like that. They knew it was going to come a day. Even though, you know, they didn't know how it was going to come, when it was going to come, who was going to be in power at that time, stuff like that. But they foresaw the future and stuff like that. They knew it was going to come a day to where we needed to be able to protect ourselves from foreign and domestic, the enemy within.
You'll thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah. Shout out to Bella. we're going to dive back into it a little bit more here, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate y'all for the comments and everything like that. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things and stuff like that, man. I really do appreciate y'all.
Incredibly demeaning because, and he still has not been forced to define, Donald Trump, what do you define as a black job? Because let me tell you what I define as a black job. Vice President of the United States.
That's a good one.
Right?
It is.
You ain't black, baby.
I don't know about the pay, but it's a good job to have. That'll be.
Well, you know, not everybody is Shannon Sharp.
No, but you know,
stop lying. At the end of the day, though, statistics have shown that, to be honest with you, the Democratic Party has the most millionaires than any other party. The Democratic Party has overreached the Republican Party in millionaires out here. Let's just keep this real.
You know what I wanted to ask? You've been in basically your adult life. You've been a public servant.
Yes, I have.
You've been AG.
My whole adult life.
You've been a DA.
Yeah.
You've been a senator. You've been VP. Is that what you envisioned? Is that what you always wanted to be, was a public servant?
I've always wanted to serve. You know, I was raised, I mean, back to whether you are, however you are raised, in the community in which you are raised, including the church in which you are raised, I
got you, Bella. I'm gonna get to the comments after this. Come on.
always believed that it is an important pursuit to figure out how you can serve. And we can do it in different ways, right? I chose public service. You chose a different route, but it's about service. And I have always, I mean, I've only had one client my entire life, the people. And the reason I keep doing it is because I know the difference that I and we can make when we believe in what is possible and then work hard at it. And my pledge in this campaign to everyone, regardless of who you are, where you live, what you look like, I will be a president for all Americans. And I will work to bring our country back together because, frankly, I think people are exhausted with the anger, with the hate, with the division, the attempt to have Americans pointing their fingers at each other. I think people are exhausted. It's not healthy for the productivity of our country. Like, do we?
Oh, now it's not healthy out here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
What are you talking about? Now it's not healthy. When you've added on the situation right here, what has been added on is we actually paying for these illegal people. That's not healthy. We're actually out here, you know what I'm saying, struggling because of that. Instead of using the taxpayer money to elevate our school systems, provided, you know, for our children and stuff like that, instead of actually adding our tax money to get our roads straight, you know, our infrastructure right, things like that. Over here, I'm all about America being selfish again. Where is the selfishness that America needs to have right now?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
We providing all this money all overseas and stuff like that, you know, Ukraine and all these people getting all these billions of dollars. All this money. But we having a problem with our school systems being properly educated. Why can't we bring back the vocational schools, especially for young men? I'm going to speak up for young men right now, okay? Because young men learn different from young women. Why can't we bring back the vocational schools where young men can get out there, put their hands on something, get out there in the sun, work on some vehicles, work on, you know, carpentry, electricians, stuff like that, things that men can actually get involved with. Growing up as a young man, I never was stuck in the house on a fucking Saturday. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I did grow up and my loved ones, you know, I had video games and stuff like that, you know, early Nintendos and stuff like that, not what they have now. But, you know, if y'all in my age, y'all remember the Nintendo, Sega Genesis, things like that, and Atari. You know, but I still wasn't allowed to sit in the damn house all day growing up. The men in my family took me outside. I had to chop some trees down, cut some grass. You finna get out here. You finna do something. You finna maneuver. You finna help me work on this. You finna help me build your grandmother a flower bed or something. You finna do something as a young man out here. You ain't finna sit in the house all day.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I know I went a little left on that, but you know what I'm saying? Well, not left. I went a little right. But, the thing of this is, man, this is crazy right here. This is ridiculous. We just spending money on useless activity instead of the things we need to spend money on, which is us as American citizens, our own tax money.
Do we want to strive? Do we want to thrive? Or do we want to spend full time with vengeance, demeaning other people? And living a life of service is about, I think, the importance of lifting people up, not tearing them down.
My team here at Shay Shay Media is always growing and making moves. Smartest way to hire.
All right, here we go.
I've read some blacks say the problem that they have to you is that you're making political promises and that you're just pandering. The problem that I have with that, it just seems like only black people pander. Like when other candidates go on shows and they say they're going to do this, they're not pandering. They're telling you, laying out their elaborate plan on what they're going to do. But it seems to you, when you promise it, if I'm president, this is what I'm going to do in the first 90 days. This is what I'm going to do. My administration is going to do while I'm in office. You're pandering. How do you get through to those that says, look, this is what I'm going to do. If I'm elected president, these are the policies, and they will lead to meaningful and impactful change.
Well, part of it is just to be candid. I think that there's sadly a misinformation out there about who I am and what I've done, because if people are informed about fact, they will know that almost everything that I'm talking about doing as president is built on a foundation of work that I've been doing for years. If it is about economic empowerment of the Black community and all communities, I've been working on that. As vice president, I am responsible for billions of dollars from big banks and big corporations, including technology companies, getting into community banks to increase access to capital for minority-owned and other small businesses. If you look at my work over a period of years, my focus again on something like maternal mortality is longstanding, which directly impacts Black men and Black women.
Right.
And the Black family. If you look at the work that I am doing that is about small businesses, the person who helped my mother raise us, who was a second mother to us, was a small business owner. I have always focused for such a long time on what.
Yeah, we know that already. We've heard it 11 times, Kamala. Yes, we know you grew up poor, allegedly, I don't see how when, you've had all those ancestors that used to own slaves out here that passed down land over there in Jamaica. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Candace Owens. Like her or not, but, she digging up Kamala's. She digging up a lot of shit. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of comments real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's go here now and see. Bill Gates and Fauci. Hey, listen, look, they haven't been held accountable yet. That's gonna be a little stretch. That's gonna be a little stretch. I mean, I guess if we gonna get these people, Bill Gates and Fauci, to be held accountable, maybe they have to be at a Diddy party or something.
So what the French toast is gonna think about?
Maybe they got to be at a Diddy party to be held accountable out here. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. Hold on. Okay. Been a public servant for sure. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Let's see. She already retired. Hey, could definitely be. Let's see. etc. Hey, that's wild. That is wild. Let's see. To all that. Okay, what's happening to all that? What was you asking, John? Was you talking to me or was you talking to somebody in the chats? Let's see. Hey, this a look. Yeah, trade schools is what we used to have in school, especially for the young men, and it goes back to, if y'all, I'm pretty sure all y'all hadn't been here since I did when I did the segment on the broadcast here when I was showing what Michelle Obama was talking about. And be honest with you, I was snapping. I was like, listen, look, she hadn't mentioned not one man, she hadn't talked about men at all, little boys, none of that. She just kept screaming what girls need, what women need, stuff like that. But of course, we are all citizens in this country. We as men, we exist too. And if it's something that we don't want or we don't agree with, we have our right to not agree with that and not want that. We have a human right to not want that or not want this. She was going on, she was basically doing her stitch about, what Obama, had said when he was at that rally and stuff like that. Well, don't let me get Michelle on you, It's like, okay, then. So Michelle finally showed up somewhere and decided to, ride down on men. Technically, she ride down on black men, but it is what it is. So yeah, she decided to, do that. Yeah, trade schools will be the best idea for our young men, black, white, whatever culture you are. You know what I'm saying? Trade schools are the best thing for young men. That we could get out there as men. We like to put our hands on things. That's the reason why I do not like these new age cars. I can't get out there and change my own alternator. I could barely get out there and change my own spark plugs. I could barely get up underneath the hood of my car and change my my thermostat and little stuff like that. I'm pissed off about shit like that. As a man, I like doing things like that. Getting up underneath the hood of my car, which at the end of the day, back in the day, what a lot of people don't know, and it's not taught in our society anymore, from men to young men, our car is our first woman.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
That's how that used to be the rite of passage for young men in this country, to get their first vehicle, to go out there, to be able to work on their first vehicle and things like that. If something breaks down, they need to change the alternator and stuff like that. I'm talking about some real shit here. I'm talking about some real shit. Now we got to go put this shit on computers and all this other type of stuff to diagnose what's wrong and all this stuff. Man, this shit is crazy, man. Men can't even work on their own stuff no more. All right, let's see. Kids don't even learn. Yeah, they don't. For real though, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. Thank y'all for the comments out there. Seriously, thank y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, hit that bell. Hit that bell. The bottom line news. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going into the future here. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for that, man. Seriously. All right. Let's see. Straight. Y'all work. Let's see. For a white weekend outside. With families. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that does something for young men, to have elder men, to get them outside when they're young, sweating, doing things. I'm telling you, that makes a huge fucking difference. It juvenates a young man's body to get out there, and especially in the summertime or the winter. But it gives a sense of purpose. And to start a young man off knowing how to develop a sense of purpose. And he's doing this not only for himself, but for the family that he's engaging with. Because, when you get out there and you're cutting the grass for your house, and you're doing things as a young man, and you seeing your father or your uncles and all this type of stuff, and they're helping the family, stuff like that, it gives the young man what it means to have a sense of purpose, and they grow up and they develop and they want to achieve and gain more other purposes to help provide, to set family, to make the family dynamic grow financially and also, you know what I'm saying, morally and everything else. It's crazy out here, man, how shit works like that, you know. All right. Hey. Yo, Bella, you crazy out here. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Wiggles and giggles. Hey, listen, look, man. She do laugh like a fucking hyena out here. Hold on. She do laugh like a hyena. Listen, look, I got this right here. She do laugh like a hyena.
Are you gonna vote? Oh, will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me? Thank you.
Hey, listen, look. That's for real. This shit's crazy. This shit is crazy. But yeah, though. All right. Hold on. Where am I at? Where am I at? All right. Let's see. Okay, I see sad. Hold on. Let's see. Her administration stores small business. Do people forget lockdown mask? Hey, listen, look. A lot of people do forget that about the lockdown and the mandatory that you had to have a shot. You know, Trump was not making it mandatory that you had to take the shot. Because I think Trump actually, you know, after that point, he actually got hold of information to where he knew that most of that shit was probably not just as strong as what we were talking about. That's the reason why at the end of the day, what I said about Dr. Fauci and all them came out, you know, years after the fact, and they was like, well, no, it really wasn't that serious, and we this and that, you know. Yeah. So yeah, he wasn't making it mandatory, but when they got in, they made it mandatory and stuff like that. This shit was crazy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. Lockdown. All right. Let's see. Raised, bro. All the time. He is person character. So I'm still broke today, though. Yeah. Listen, look. Being raised, let's say not rich, and you know, broke is not necessarily meaning that you are poor. Like poor is just, you know, like the bum on the streets and things like that, homelessness, stuff like that. But being raised broke is like you are getting money. Money is, you know, flowing through your household, but it's not enough to sustain things. And you have to keep, you know, hustling hard in order to pay bills, in order to make ends meet, stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually all the way super poor. But yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, John. Yeah, being growing up not super rich and things like that, it does give you a different perspective on life, and it does make you a little bit more whole, you know, as a human being to a degree. Not to say that you need to necessarily stay there. And if you don't stay there and you get up and you elevate yourself, you need to also keep those mindsets to understand that there's other people in your position that are decent people, but they may not have the resources or the tools and things like that to really get themselves out, even if they want to. Hey, yeah. Yeah, the internet is it's been treacherous for society, especially the young people. They don't even know how to get outside anymore, and that's causing the young people to not be able to have people skills. The reason why, you know, our generation of parents, especially like I said, I'm early 40s and things like that, and the reason why my generation and above parents, you know, they was like getting us outside. It's like, listen, look, you know, get your ass out the house. Go hang out with your friends. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and even as a child, and you wanted to get outside the house, you wanted to hang out with your friends, you wanted to interact with other human beings and stuff like that on a physical, personal level. You didn't want to, sit there and be on a video game all day, stuck in one spot in a room and stuff like that. And I get it. Some of these new agers, yeah, they can talk to people, nowadays over the internet and stuff like that while they're playing video games and stuff. I understand it's different now, but we still needed that physical interaction with other people. And that's the reason why people skills were made, is because as children, we interacted with other children, and we created people skills. We understood what place we was in as children, what class system in our schools that we were in and stuff like that. Something that is, it's kind of like being trying to be pushed out of the way nowadays. Like everybody's the same, stuff like that. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? The head cheerleader, the head football jock is not in the same level as the fucking science nerd in fucking science class. There's levels to this shit. And the thing of this is that, back in the day, we used to accept those things and we used to honor that because, you was in this place right here and you had qualities that could actually be brought to the table, and you was in this place and you had qualities that could be brought to the table, and bringing all that to the table made everybody valuable to the situation, to where if everybody's equal, what qualities are being brought to the table? It's no qualities. Like,
So what the French toast is there to think about?
everybody's equal. So what qualities, if everybody bring the same qualities, then what can we grow? What can we make different? What can the individual, what things can be bettered or, made different because, everybody's equal. So everybody's bringing the same fucking qualities. It makes no sense. All right, let's see. All right, yeah. The feminization of America meant, hey, listen, look, it is what it is out here, man. And yeah, it's a fight for men to keep, wanting America to, be nice. Like, we want to keep providing for families. We want to keep, having children and reproducing and things like that. And they sit around here talking about, well, our reproductive situation over here in America is not at the level that it needs to be. Well, it would be if we would keep promoting families, if we would keep promoting the things that we need as natural born American citizens, instead of trying to phase us out and bring in something new.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
It just is what it is. All right. Try again. Let's see. I have 4 children, 2 of each gender. The boy's 19, 16. Let's see. Nights. All right. Let's see. 15, 3. Yeah. Boys and girls. No matter what. Yes. Yes. I definitely agree with that, John. Seriously. I definitely agree with that, man. It just is what it is. It is what it is, man. Shout out to your beautiful family, John. Like,
So
seriously.
what the French toast is there to think about?
Shout out to your beautiful family, man. Yeah, my life had worked a little bit different. Some decisions I did make, as a young man and stuff like that, kind of maneuvered and pivot my life where I wouldn't have that type of family and stuff like that, because I made certain wrong decisions, stuff like that, and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I definitely own my own fucking mistakes. I really do, as a grown man. I know I fucked up, so a few things. So yeah, but shout out to your beautiful family, man. Seriously, keep it strong. Seriously, keep it strong, brother. Let's see. All right. Common sense is, yeah, definitely rare. Definitely rare. Let's see. Most important part of this country's success. Yes, always have been, and that's the thing. that's been the most part of this country's success has been families. That's what built this country, and we see it today still, that even, the immigrants that definitely come over here legally, they bring families, they support families. When you see these individuals, especially in the Black community, I don't know anybody's race, but that's not the point. Especially in the Black community, when you see these individuals buying up gas stations and stuff like that, and liquor stores and all this type of stuff, I know that they're supporting families. When they have restaurants and stuff like that, they're supporting families. I see the women of the families and the children working in these restaurants, stuff like that. And I take a step back because I'm baffled, and I'm like, listen, look, how as we as Black people cannot see this, that we need to stop this selfishness in our own community and come together and try to make sure that we have our children working in our own restaurants and own gas stations and stuff like that. Stuff that we can do. I'm gonna get back to it and things like that. We're gonna keep going just a little bit longer. I think I'm over the 3-hour mark. Didn't really plan on going this long, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't start getting the comments till a little bit later on in the broadcast, but I still, hey, shout out to you guys. I appreciate them comments, like seriously. So yeah, we're gonna keep going just a little bit longer here. Let's see what's going on here.
What we need to do, knowing that our small business are part of the culture of our communities, right? Including the economic fabric and strength of the community. So what I'm talking about doing right now is based on longstanding work. It's not new. But as President of the United States, part of why it is important is it is a new approach to that job. It is about a new way that is based on a new generation of leadership, that is based on new ideas, and frankly, a different experience that brings my commitment to the work I am talking about into being.
Can you give us a breakdown of how you will allow Blacks and other minorities to access capital? Because you speak a lot about capital, and in order for people to become successful and have some wealth, is that they need to have access to that to get started.
So that's in fact why I did, starting earlier this year, my economic opportunity tour, way before I was running for president, because I realized that so many of our entrepreneurs don't actually have that we need to do better in getting information to people about what's available to them. So for example, through the Small Business Administration, there are funds available to help people create a business plan. There is resources available to help people just know how that you need to run a payroll, how you need to pay business taxes. Part of my plan, by the way, is to simplify taxes for small businesses. I like to say it's basically, I'm going to date myself, like, you remember the 1040? Did you ever have to do a 1040? Probably never.
No.
Okay, I did. But, simplifying tax returns for people, including our small businesses. But the work that I have done and will continue to do is about knowing that we don't lack for hard work. We don't lack for good ideas, but we do lack for information about the help that is available. So that's part of how it is going to be about increasing access to capital. Part of it is about putting more money. So I called up and got in touch with and worked with some of the big CEOs of the biggest corporations in America and said, and the big banks, that you all don't necessarily, you're not there in the community where you can get $100,000 loan to a small business. You guys deal at a different level, but those $100,000 loans for a startup will go a long way. Let's get those billions of dollars that you've got, put them into community banks who are in the community, who know what the community needs, what they want, what the consumers there want, and then support those small businesses. So that's my approach to access to capital, including making sure that people have, again, simplifying taxes for small businesses. You know why, Shannon? Small businesses can't afford to hire a bunch of accountants.
Yeah, they can't help.
And a bunch of lawyers. But that shouldn't be the reason they fail, because they didn't fill out the form properly. Right?
Yes.
So my approach is really understanding the culture, understanding the needs, and then trying to fix problems. I love fixing problems with common sense solutions. And again, look, Donald Trump is never going to relate necessarily to the kind of folks that I'm talking about who on the ground just need to be seen and heard, and then let's fix the problems. Let's address the challenges to let them not just get by, but get ahead. And I want to put a fine point on this. Maybe it's a new perspective. I think it is. I believe that we have had great success in bringing Black unemployment down to historic lows.
Yes.
But for me, that's a floor.
Since when? Bringing Black unemployment down. Okay. All right. Let's just keep going.
For me, that's a floor. Because what I know is that it should be baseline that everybody's working. That's not enough. People want to build wealth.
Yes.
And intergenerational wealth.
Correct.
And I want to help people do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know what folks want to be able to take a nice vacation from time to time, have nice Christmas gifts for their kids under the tree. And it can't just be about, well, you got a job, applaud me for what I've done for you.
Right.
And that's the spirit with which I do my work.
I saw President Trump on a
So for the past 3 years, and I'm gonna ask this question out here, seriously. How those Christmas gifts been up under the tree?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm just asking. Hey, comment, let me know how them Christmas gifts been up under the tree the past 3-something years right now. How's it been?
a TV show, and he talked about defunding the Department of Education.
Yes.
Basically, we know that's going to affect communities like us that don't have the resources.
Mm-hmm.
And then because he says he doesn't, if they taught about slavery, which is a part of our history, it's
that they're trying to cover up.
Yes.
That they're trying to cover up.
They talk about racism. And he said, well, what we would do if they talked about it, they wouldn't get funding. And we know what communities are going to be most impacted by non-funding.
And understand that they want to get rid of the Department of Education and get rid of Head Start. You know whose kids are in Head Start? They want to, it is, and to your point, and I'm so glad you pointed this out, you know, these are the same people who basically suggested that enslaved people benefited from slavery. The same people who are trying to ban and are banning books.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if we don't teach America's full history, we will never ensure that we don't make the same.
Yes.
To do those same things again.
Let's learn from that pain.
So, I mean, haven't y'all been changing the history of the books the past 3 years? I mean, okay. Yeah, all right.
That painful part of our history to make sure we don't repeat it, but not by not covering it up. Let's have an open and honest conversation about it. It happened.
And the effects of it.
Yes.
And the present day effects of it.
Mm-hmm. I think we both agree. I think we can all agree on this, that there is a problem with, I don't know how the correct term, I think it's undocumented.
Mm.
How do we get a hold on that, Madam VP? How do we make sure, because I think I've heard you say you want a path to citizenship, but we want to, make sure people come in and do things properly.
Yes.
We already have a path to citizenship. We've already had a legal way to bring in immigrants. Now, does that process take time? Yes. The process is supposed to take time because you're supposed to properly vet people that you're going to bring into this country.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You're trying to rush people in and things like that. And see, my thought process is this right here. I think this is all just a figment of imagination. I think this is all right here just a fake plan. And follow me on this theory here. I think the fact that they actually, have allowed the borders to just be overrun like this is because they're not, be honest with you, I don't really think they're planning on winning right now. I really don't. Just from sitting back, doing some real thinking, deep thoughts, I don't think they're worried about winning right now. I think they're worried about 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. The long game. When the immigrants that they have allowed over here illegally, they, have children and stuff like that. And those children grow up to be adults and they have children. And actually, by that point, they will be natural born American citizens. And they will remember what happened and stuff like that. And they will be like, well, yeah, we're going to vote for Democrats because they allowed us in. They gave us the amenities. They gave us the solidarity. They gave us the money. They gave us the opportunity to be here and things like that. I think this is the long game. I really do. I think this is a long game. Chess, not checkers.
That's exactly right. So first of all, I have personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have prosecuted the Sinaloa cartel, okay? The Guadalajara cartel. So I put my record up to anybody in terms of how strongly I feel about having a secure border and making sure that there is not that kind of trafficking into America. I also know that we need to put more resources at the border, which is why I supported a bill that came about, including from the most conservative members of Congress, to put 1,500 more border agents at the border, to do what we need to do to cut down the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is killing people of every race and background. More resources would have gone to prosecuting human trafficking. Donald Trump got word of that bill. And he knew it would be a solution to a problem, which is that we have a broken immigration system. He got word of the bill and he told his friends in Congress, don't put it up for a vote. Don't let it go any further. Because you see, he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. Right. And is putting out tens of millions of dollars of campaign commercials full time, trying to suggest that he cares about strengthening the border when he had an opportunity to participate in a solution, which he killed, because he's not about problem solving. It's about a political game for him. My point is, we got to strengthen the border, and we need to have an immigration system that is fair and humane and strong in terms of making sure that people have to earn citizenship. They have to work hard to get it. My plan includes also strengthening what we need to do in terms of, illegal entry in between ports of entry, what we need to do to put more support for Border Patrol agents, put more technology at the border.
What is she talking about?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
She is talking so far out the side of her neck that this shit is horrible. You mean there were already things in place so the border was fine. The border was fine and it was shut down, you know what I'm saying, when Trump was in office. It was fine. It was shut down. We didn't have an overwhelming a mass of illegals coming in. We do have a proper immigration system to where people could come over here legally, and also, like what she just said, well, they can come over here the good way, basically. That was already in place. Like I said before, it does take time, but that's the point. It takes time. We have to evaluate these people, and that takes time. Man, everything was already set in place. And see, the reason why the situation is going sideways for them right now is because, people are not stupid. People are seeing what's been going on here these past 3 to 4 years and how they just opened the borders, which were closed previously. Hell, even Obama was declared the deportation chief. Even Obama was declared the deport. He was deporting people. So now all of a sudden, when Biden gets in office with Kamala, the borders are open. Do your research. This is true. Obama wasn't allowing people to just rush up in here like that. Trump wasn't allowing people to rush up in here like that. So all of a sudden now, real talk, we got caravans of immigrants that are rushing here, trying to get here before, the election goes, not in their favor. Man, it's wild out here. This is wild. This is wild. Hey, listen, shout out.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Let's see. Honesty. Yeah. Okay. Yo. Let's see. Hey. Yeah. It is what it is on the missing kids, though, which is sad and disrespectful. Which is very sad and disrespectful. And yeah, man. But this is what we're dealing with. And yeah, we got a few more weeks to go. Things like that. And hopefully we can get America back on track. Hopefully we can get jobs back over here. Stellantis in Detroit, they're having their issues with, because everything's being shipped out. Of course, the economy is messed up. Man, America needs to get back selfish. We need selfishness in America again.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
For our children. I've even seen reports to where the immigrants that came over here legally, and actually the legal way that took them years to get citizenship, they're even mad. They're mad about what's been happening these past 3 years. They're angry because, of what's been going on. And they have every right to be. And I get it. They went through the process legally. They took their time. They were properly vetted. And, they don't even get the amenities and the government subsidies that we as taxpayer citizens been giving these illegals that have been rushing over here. And I'm talking about the immigrants that came over here legally all these years. They're even pissed. They're pissed. So imagine natural born American citizens and how we feel. This is crazy. This is truly crazy, man. But yeah, though, I definitely want to send a shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that commented, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Please make sure y'all hit that like button. It's sure mad love to you guys and everything like that. It's just, man, this is wild out here, man. This is wild. And we're living in a whole disrespectful day and time. And hopefully you guys wake up out there and see what we need to do as far as bringing jobs back, as far as America being selfish again, as far as what we need to do to stop being the workhorse of the world. Because I've been saying that throughout a lot of my broadcasts, is that, yes, we as America are the workhorses of the world. We are. And instead of us being the workhorses of the world, we need to make the rest of the world work for us for a change.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.